Police or zombie problems? Your tortoise won't stop breakdancing?
Try blue tape.
The miracle of our age. Yay!
Yay!
Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. I'm a man.
You know what? I talk to your mayor.
Diamonds in my grill and they can't even spark. Fleas just skimming low key from the trailer park. I'm on fleek, yeah, my vibes are spree. Dropping this verbal lobotomy. Calling out the fakes, yeah, I see that disguise. Talking big game, but it's the cheapest lies. Doing walk-bys, about to expose the weakest of the meager flows. Diamonds in my grill and they can't even spark. Fleas just skimming low key from the trailer park. I'm on fleek, yeah, my vibes are spree. Dropping this verbal lobotomy. Masked up, walk by my pen's a blade. Slicing through the noise that the schemes have made. That paper thin, yeah, the stories don't last. I'm building my empire while they're stuck in the past. Diamonds in my grill and they can't even spark. Fleas just skimming low key from the trailer park. I'm on fleek, yeah, my vibes are spree. Dropping this verbal lobotomy.
Ooh, indeed. What's up, folks? Man, it has been a pretty busy day kicking off. Now, of course, as you may remember, a certain megalodonous foe was away. So, of course, there had to be many a thing pop off today. That's how it works. Sounded like a Dr. Seuss nursery rhyme there, too. You know, the megalodonus is away, so the court filings are in play. I love it. Oh, what a day, though. There's the big news on the day, though. And I really want to mock this. You remember all of those articles, the interviews and more, saying that nothing was happening in Ohio. You remember that, right? There were several live streams from 2L and the gang. You had the mods saying that as well. You had certain lawyers going out on there saying, yeah, there's nothing going on in Ohio. I mean, they just kept saying all of this, you know. They were throwing down. They had their PR journos on it, writing again article after article. What happened today? Well, apparently there was indeed a hearing. What? How is this? How did that happen? I thought there wasn't anything. I thought it was all over. I thought it was all a lie, a concoction of Hales. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? I might even call that, what's that word? I'm saying fascinating. That's right. Oh my God. You have to admit that is kind of wild. I mean, these people, again, they have over and over said that everything is a lie, nothing is going on, and then when it comes up, of course, they're gonna shift gears. They also last night, funny enough, they so 2L and the gang tried to walk back some stuff that happened. I want to mention this real quick. They tried to walk back the Bruce statements. You know, if you missed out on this, by the way, for this weekend, they threw Bruce under the bus. They said that Bruce told them repeatedly they wouldn't be sued, which we do know that he's told other people that. Well, you know, we have emails of that. He told Dave and Slug that wouldn't happen. Again, you know, we have emails that show that. They were provided. Actually, I still think I have one pulled up here. So, you know, again, we know that was happening. Let's see. Yeah, there's that one. Give me 1 minute here. Yes, see that? That's, by the way, just in case you forgot or you missed the other day, you have BBB telling them, hey, guys, you're not going to get sued. Now, of course, they did. They absolutely did. But you have him telling them they won't. And if you get hit on YouTube or something, I'll come in and I'll be your legal rep. Well, his PR guys, they managed to lose their freaking channels over some ridiculous nonsense, and I don't think he can even step into that. You know, give me 1 second. I got to grab a freaking cord. I can see you guys, but I can't. My phone's gonna die. So I dropped my cord behind my. Oh my God! I gotta set this up better. I'm like, you hear me one day fall over a table. There we go. I got it. That would be something, wouldn't it? But they told us that BBB had abandoned them. He wasn't talking to them anymore. It's so sad. Well, they decided that the very next night they needed to damage control that because, of course, that doesn't look good, right? That sounds really bad. So they tried to say, well, yeah, they talk all the time now, actually. They talk all the time, except Bruce doesn't help them or talk to them as much. So they still threw him under the bus while trying to damage control it at the same time. It's the weirdest stuff. I was like, what is going on? But, you know, the protective order stuff is pretty big time because, again, you know, the whole subject of violations, they've gotten to the point where, again, they're on their own. Now, this is something that Volpe confirmed too. He said that Lynette Preston, of course, for the thing that doesn't happen, it's not going to happen. It also was going to happen, and they would be totally on their own. They have no lawyer. They're pro se. You know, they obviously they had Sean at one time, but oh God, looking at the stuff with Bruce, I would say no matter what happened with that stuff, I'm going to say that the stuff with Bruce would probably burn any lawyer. Like, oh, he leaked emails, which Megan covered the other night, which was kind of shocking, by the way. But he ended up leaking emails from Sean, BBB did, to Volpe, which is just crazy when you think about it, because of the idea of privilege. I mean, if Lynette, I'm curious if Lynette knew about that. Because Lynette, if you didn't know about that, that's a real problem for Bruce. You know, Bruce is already under siege. But I mean, these people have been telling you that none of this stuff was going to happen, that you can do whatever. And yeah, apparently we're there. So today, I typically do not cover videos when they come up, but man, Hale's again. This is it's so interesting. It's so interesting. I want to show you what he had to say on it instead of misquoting something. But when we're going in there, which I'll note this when we get there, I will ask you to go and click on his video, watch it, let it play multiple times, and support those guys. I mean, they've been going through a lot. Quite a bit, you know. I can sit here and I can laugh at all the stupid all day long, but remember, there are real people that are involved, and those real people have been going through a lot. I want to show you one other thing on the day too. I thought this was kind of interesting to see. So we had a court filing that came up for Mr. Teschendorf, you know, aka Stupid Dave. Now with Stupid Dave, there had been, as you remember, there was a give me 1 second. I'm making sure this sets right. There was a discussion about service by publication. Now, the service by publication, there is an order or a request rather in right now, or a motion. I guess that's what I should say. Motion in. I'll get it right in a minute. Excuse me, folks. There's a motion in for asking for fees, you know, that have been associated with trying to serve Stupid Dave. Because it's cost a lot. You know, these people are actively trying to dodge service. So, as was noted, they can do publication. Now, again, I left in because this is a law firm, so it doesn't matter. The law firm is the, and again, this is all a court doc anyway, but a law firm is the advertiser. But you can see they took out an ad in the Daily Reporter. This is the way that they're serving. And you can look at this too. The amount of cost, man. The charge with that, $259 freaking bucks. Man, that's expensive. It is. And that's not the only thing. There's a lot more listed too. But it's funny. I didn't read that because of the advertiser. But anytime I see addresses in this, I just read. I don't even read them. So I guess the same address was in here too. But you can see what service by publication looks like. This is how it looks. And check this out. So it notes that this is to Stupid Dave. Again, this is published in the Daily Reporter, and it notes that a lawsuit has been filed against you. Within 21 days of service, this summons on you, not counting the day you received it, or 60 days if you are in the U.S. or United States agency, officer, employee of the United States, as described, and again, the Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12A2 and or 3. You must serve on the plaintiff and an answer to the attached complaint or a motion under Rule 12 of Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. The answer or motion, it must be served on the plaintiff or plaintiff's attorney, and it notes who the attorney is. Again, you know, people were asking what service by publication actually looks like. Here you go. You know, and I'm sure you can see when the first issue, last issue, when this will be served. So they actually go through the range too. But it also notes if you fail to respond, judgment by default will be entered against you for the relief demanded in the complaint. Now, I imagine that, well, I don't know. I shouldn't speak for the ecosystem. I really shouldn't. But it's funny. By the way, so they've mentioned yet again that we're going to get sued. You know, we're going to get sued. It's going to be the main three, you know. Last night, that's what we were hearing about. The LPJCHG lawsuits. That's apparently coming from Hale. I actually can't wait for that. Because if that ever comes, I'm going to drop the biggest fucking bombshell on you that you have ever seen. And I'm going to break their lawsuit in half. just snap it over my knee. And you'll be like, oh my God, Douglas, that is amazing. So if that ever does come for me, you watch, baby. You watch what happens. Because I'm telling you, I swear to God, I have like the hydrogen bomb that I am setting on. And I'm just waiting for that day. I am. I'm waiting for that day. But I do. Oh, and you know, like I said, if we ever return to this conversation, I want you to mark it. And you can call me out on that. It can be like, if they ever put that in, what was that? And I will drop the bomb of bombs. Oh my God. I swear to you that I'm setting on something just amazing for that day. It will be so glorious. It is just something that I myself know. But that day that it comes, if they try to come for me or Megalodon its foe, I will break that lawsuit. I will break its limbs. Snap, snap, snap. And I will have one heck of a counter lawsuit with it. So it'll be a lot of fun. So we'll see. We'll see. But I've gotten to the point where I hope that happens. I very much hope that it happens because, oh my God, one day, baby, one day. I'm not going to ruin the fun with it, but one day, if it ever comes. If it doesn't, maybe we'll talk about it one other day. But also, just to make something clear, yesterday, Only Me had written me quite a few times. If you're out there, Only Me, I wrote you back, and I told you that since you're very chatty, that you should write up a complaint about the people who ripped you off. I noted this to you, David. And I said, let's see, I'm going to read it to you. That way, it's not just some random thing out there. And if you ignore it, then just shut the fuck up forever. Just shut the fuck up because you're useless. But I told you, write a clear, concise statement for LP with numbers. One for the police. She needs it. She would for sure. She would need it. And I will get it to her. And that is a promise to her. And I will make sure it goes to the authorities. It could help her expose the $50K kept from you and by those that walk all over your name. They did it last night, by the way. They walked over your name again. They talk about you like you're the biggest joke ever, because they suckered you out of money. But it's not just for you, I noted. It's for all the others they've threatened, they've trashed, and they've doxed, and that are afraid to stand up. You could be their voice. Now, I'll add records to it and other items that I'm sure she hasn't given to the police. And that would need to be seen. Otherwise, this seems type of BS. It may continue, and it would. I mean, they've rebranded already for a new Christmas thing. So, apparently we're destroying Christmas, by the way. How dare you destroy Christmas? Christmas for who, fatty? Christmas for who? For the pretend little kids you're helping out, or for yourself? Where you're like, oh my God, they're destroying Christmas for me. I was going to buy 12 packs of chicken skin. Doug is going to mess it up. Oh my God. But I told them, the BS may continue. More people, they may be targeted. More elderly, indigent people that can't afford this. I know for a fact that people took loans because they didn't know better, for fuck's sake. People on fixed incomes that thought they were helping. Now, those people need help. They need real help. They need his help. So, I wrote him. I'm noting that live, too. If you want to ignore that, that's your prerogative. But never bitch at me again about money, because I've offered to do all the legwork for you. All you got to do is write something down, man. Not very hard. Just write out a statement, something that's useful. And if you can't do that, man, I don't know what to tell you. Because you told them that you would work as a witness for them. Well, they don't need a witness in a civil case. They need something to back up what they're saying in a criminal case. So get on it. Get on it, sir. Get on it, sir. Yeah, somebody was asking why the date here. This was the date of the court filing with all the service stuff. But as far as the issuance and everything else, they have from the date of publication, they have these dates. I'm not sure if you just have to copy in the whole thing, like with the date of summons. I'm figuring you have to copy in everything that was in the notification of lawsuit, the summons. So you got to think it was that was filed back when? That was filed way back in February. So that tells you how long we've been playing here, you know. Crazy, isn't it? It's been going on that long. But this is the date of publication, the date ranges. So that was there. I think they have to take, though, again, because the court informs you. This is when you have to be able to tell people, hey, you've been served, you've been summoned. There is a lawsuit that is effective against you. So the court, they put that out. And like I said, I think they have to just copy the whole thing. I'm not sure. Again, I've never watched a service by publication, but I figure it's the same thing as, any other service. And with that, I mean, all they're doing essentially is they're letting you know that, hey, lawsuit has been filed against you. This is the method, therefore. Now let's get this sucker on. I want to see this today, man. This is amazing. And like I said, okay, I want to make it very clear when I do this. Like I said, I've said this before. I don't like covering a video on the day of, but this is so big. It's not just that I would even wait on this, but I need to laugh at the people who said that this wasn't real. Like this is the thing. Like every now and then, there are certain things that you can tell Jeremy is laughing at them. And I get a good laugh out of some of that. But as far as case elements, when he's like, hey, the civil protection order is legit. It's on. There are complaints that were in. Oh, yeah. They were, but they kept laughing about it. Not only that, but they kept covering it, and they were covering items like you would have 2L cover things, or Volpe and paint chips. They would cover things that the only way they know about them is that somebody, either that would be LP, JC, the parties in the case, or a certain representative for them was leaking to folks. Those documents, they would end up covered, which was just mental when you thought about it. So, like I said, I want to sit here and I do really want you to just take a moment and just laugh at those people. Because again, they told the world that this stuff was fake and kept telling it. Even going from their statements, like I kept saying with it, even if you think that it's fake, even if you have this idea that you can get away with something, why would you take the chance? Is it worth it? Because you've already violated, you had it against you. You violated it not once, but twice. And potentially with third-party violations and more. I mean, I could look, when I looked at some of the things that happened, screenshot more, God, I could find dozens. I mean, for real, legit. Be like that right there, that's a problem. This one's a problem, that one's a problem, and it kept going down the list. So kept telling these people, man, it's like, you don't want to go that route. The people that are telling you this are not your friends. Actually, I think I need to go this way, but they want to hear it, man. Told them, see, again, I feel like we have, despite the fact that these people they tell LP all kinds of stuff and JC all this stuff, I feel like we've given them very good advice. But then again, I saw a screenshot today where JC was talking about, a court filing that had come up. And it wasn't something that was pro him. It didn't help him in any way. But he was like, "Yeah, that's a win." I thought that's actually not a win for you, man. But he thought it was because he doesn't understand court filings. Oh my God! All right, let's watch this though. This will be real. This is something. And again, like I said, please make sure that you give their channel love. You play this stuff, you watch their videos. In fact, dually or triply. Because again, you walk away with you leave your house, leave it playing. For sure. But let's watch this together. Here we go.
Remanded multiple times by the judge.
I have anxiety over the roof.
It was court
I
day
got sent
here in
that, by the way.
Ohio, which was
I got sent that animation by someone out there, like an animation like that. I don't know. I guess maybe theirs, or I'm not sure how it came up, but I was like, oh my God, that's funny. So I'm going to save it for a Megalodonus Faux Day, but that's pretty funny.
scheduled for a full evidentiary hearing, which means all the evidence would come forth and then a verdict would be brought by the courts. Guilty, not guilty, what comes with that? Sanctions, fines, legal fees, the whole deal. Lynette and Crook, they filed a motion.
They did. They filed the motion.
Okay, so you see that. I want to play this beginning for you just one more time. I realize it's a half a minute, but it's still worth it because listen, this is what they seem to all have. They don't understand. All right. There is a process. Yes. But they wanted to be like, no, the process, it ended because this certain date. And it was like, no, it didn't. So again, listen to the process. Yeah, I know. I want you to notice this, okay?
Be brought by the courts. Guilty, not guilty. What comes with that? Sanctions, fines, legal fees, the whole deal. Lynette and Crook, they filed a motion.
They did. They filed the motion to appear by Zoom, and they asked the courts for a court-appointed attorney.
Oh my God.
For a civil case.
They filed for continuances as well.
Oh my God. So they asked for a court-appointed attorney in this. Can I get a court-appointed attorney for a protective order? Oh my God. I mean, these folks, they did though. They asked, and here's the thing. Let me read this to you. Okay, here's just an AI overview. But you typically can't get a court-appointed attorney for a civil protective order petition unless you're a juvenile charged with a delinquent offense, or you are respondent in a dependent or a neglect petition. So they're very limited in there, and they've been told this before. By the way, they've been told, no, you're not going to be able to do this. So they already know the answer to it, but they did it again. So, Jesus, man, this is like I thought they had a lawyer telling them how to handle things. I really thought, Bruce, aren't you helping them? I mean, aren't you helping with filings and more? Somebody is, and I figure it's Bruce. But did you tell them to do that? I mean, that's really weird, especially in, it's not just a civil case. It's it's with a violation. Like I said, they've already been through this. they know, but hey, what do I know?
Which leads one to believe they didn't write these, okay? All right, so here's what happens. And George and I both took a tremendous amount of notes. We arrive on Zoom at 8:45 because experience has taught us that Lynette and Crook are going to do something so stupid, so foolish.
Yeah, they do tend to fly off the handle with their mouths or say things that are inappropriate, and it's a clown show.
Way.
Well,
no way. Them fly off the hand? I would have never thought that. Out there in the audience, would you have ever thought that could happen? that LP and or JC might pop up and say something that's not permitted. That's just shocker for me. I tell you, real shocker. But yes, also, if you have court, show up early. Do it. You always you show up early. You're telling the judge that you not only respect the process, but also that you're there and you respect the judge. You respect their courtroom. Remember, the courtroom is their house. And you want to tell these people, hey, I respect your house and I respect you. So, I mean, not a very hard thing to lay down.
The last time I was on Zoom with Crook, he was saying some extremely inappropriate things about the federal judge.
I know,
so I figured let's get there early and let's see what happens.
Well, even if it wasn't on Zoom, we would still arrive there early in person.
Sure. And obviously we've got the right decorum for the event.
Yes.
Yeah, the big show. So
whether it's in Zoom or in person, you should always dress presentable. And I would say,
yes, that is another thing. I have a tattoo on my arm. I got it when I was 18. It's on my forearm, on my right forearm. One of the beautiful things that you do in a courtroom is it's typical. I have one in my hand. I have an umbrella symbol on my hand, and there's not a lot I can do about covering that up. Gloves are not considered tasteful, but you better believe that I wear a long sleeve shirt. I will probably wear a jacket. You see, like Hale's, like he's wearing a jacket there. You want to be presentable. You want to look like, again, it goes back to that thing we were talking about showing up early for. Why? Because respect. Everyone, they either have or they have the means to procure something at least moderately nice. We're not talking about showing up in a $2,000 suit. We're talking about, wearing something that you could get from maybe your local church, or there's usually places to get something. But yeah, always dress appropriately. This is crazy. So when I had to go for a protective order, again, not against me, but when I had to go and follow up on something that, they have open courts and you see all of the people that are in there. Now, as part of it, I was shocked by how many people violated dress codes. Like I'm talking about, I saw one guy with what you would refer to as a quote unquote wife beater, the shirts with cut off sleeves. I saw a guy with that, which they got onto him for. Saw people with open-toed shoes, people with pants and stuff that were ripped up, people wearing shorts, and it was amazing. Like, most of those people too, they ended up with problems. They absolutely ended up with problems. So, not smart. But I was stunned by how many people would show up. I was also stunned by how many people brought stupid things or attempted to bring them into the courtroom. I saw a guy like that. He went to the metal. I swear it was like I thought he was going to get arrested because he went up. He was starting to go into the courtroom, and he had a pew pew on him. He'd forgotten. He's like, oh, he noted it right before he went through the metal detector. He's like, oh, I've got it. I got to go back out and go put it up. And again, you're allowed to have those. You just can't have them in a federal building. So goes into his car, puts it up, goes to the metal detector. Something sets it off. Has a pocket knife in his pocket. They find the one. He's like, oh, God, I got to go take that. And takes it back. Comes back, goes to the metal detector, sets it off again. He had another knife. It was strapped around his ankle. Oh, no. So has to go back, goes back to his car, comes back a third time, sets off the metal detector. Yeah, had another pocket knife. I thought they were going to arrest him by that. I was like, man, that's 4 times, dude. It's 4 times they were going to arrest this dude. Well, they didn't. Actually, they were like, oh, my God. Oh, but I was stunned. But it amazes me sometimes. The people that really, you're not, you think about it too. Maybe you don't respect the court. Okay. But you respect yourself enough to help you out. So anyway, let's continue.
Them, they did not show up, not even business casual.
Oh,
you want to tell them what they were wearing, or you want me to?
Let's get to it. Let's work up to that point.
Okay.
Because we're on Zoom at 8:45. The judge is there as well. And so we're told the host is there, just waiting to be brought in. And at 9 a.m. exactly, on the dot, the judge allows us to come in, and they come in.
So you see,
And what you see?
you see Lynette on one screen.
You see Crook and Lynette on the
Oh my
screens
God.
doing this with their fingers the entire.
I can imagine doing it. Oh my God. You've seen them with everything they've ever done. It's been like that, you know. Oh my God. For real, Lynette. I mean this in the nicest way possible. Lady, you really could be a comedy routine. For real. And I don't mean that as an asshole response. I mean, if you could take the way that you act and not have it attached to a case or something, you just had like a, I don't know, like an AMC show or something. Or you had, again, you need to fire up your freaking, your freaking channel. Hell, you've talked about everybody getting rich but you, right? Well, what you should do is upload some of your own deposition. You know, and oh my God, you know, it'd be the greatest thing ever. Lynette, you should upload your own deposition and do commentary for it. Holy shit, that would be the greatest thing ever. Oh, holy God. I would I would do everything in my power to make sure that your channel got monetized if you did that. Oh, you should do a series on that. Oh my God, that brings a tear to my eye. Just thinking, could you imagine how great that would be, though? Oh Lord, continue.
Entire time.
You see
I
Cook
can't
on
get
another
it.
screen.
Hey Dick, what's going on? Are we lost in the fifth dimension?
And they're both sitting
Look,
inside.
his
They weren't
eyes
in
are
the
watering.
shed.
Look, his eyes are watering. I've run into that a lot of times, but he's just thinking about it. And he starts laughing so hard that tears come to your eyes. Oh, I tell you, it's like a comedy routine sometimes.
They were both sitting inside.
The new camper.
The
Of course,
new
The
camper.
newest grift.
Mhm.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And it's echoing like crazy.
There
So
was technical
course.
issues, which is normal whenever there's technology involved.
no, it's normal whenever they're involved.
That's true.
Always an issue.
There is
Somebody's
always an
always
issue.
sick. Somebody's always dying. There's always a technical issue.
Yep.
It's a
Someone's
mess.
always disabled.
Oh, and indigent. And we're just poor. We're just poor people who can't afford. We're disabled. We have a disabled child. Yeah. The judge got to hear it all again and rebuked her
So
for it.
again, it makes you question, why would two people that are fully disabled and both indigent be allowed to adopt a child?
Well, let's stick with the court because Lynette finally goes, can we just be on the same phone? We're sitting right next to each other anyway,
No.
which is not allowed.
No.
They have two separate cases.
Correct.
You got lawyers, lady. I thought you had a bankruptcy lawyer that was informing you how to do everything. You know, he's going to be involved in all your cases. You know, too. Oh God. Give me a second. Well, tried to tell people, don't worry about your $6,000 yesterday. It was in good hands. He's appeared in 2 cases so far, and he's going to appear in the others. Shit. I was like, you know, he appeared in 2 cases because he attended 1 Zoom meeting. And what was he there for? They were like, are you part of this? No, Your Honor. Okay. To the curb, buddy. Oh my God, they were trying to sell that. Don't worry, guys. That's $6,000 you gave. It all makes sense, even though we weren't responsible for it, because that's Bruce's thing. Throwing Bruce under the bus, but we're not throwing him under the bus, even though he doesn't talk to us anymore, and he won't help us. Oh my God. Okay, give me a second. Oh, that made me laugh. Oh, they keep sticking to that. That's like the Bruce talking point, and they keep adopting it, trying to run. Oh God, they try to run interference for it, and it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And seeing their little seals in the chat, clapping their little fins, they're like, "Oh, Lisa," and they're like, or, like little seals gobbling it up. Instead of throwing them fish, he throws them chicken skins. Oh Lord, it's amazing. Continue.
They are to be in two separate places. They cannot communicate with one another. So Lynette says, "Can we just be on the same phone?" And then John starts saying something, and Lynette's like, "Shh."
That.
Shush them real quick.
Now, keep in mind, Lynette, after she watches this, she's going to post all kinds of crazy crap all over Facebook and YouTube.
Oh my God, have you posted anything yet, Lynette? I haven't even checked. Give me 1 second. I gotta look. Just give me 1 minute, okay? It's important. Let's see. Because I haven't looked. Have you posted anything cool yet, Lynette? Whoa, you got 4 posts. Is there anything good in them? Let's see. Oh, some of that's because I haven't checked my computer for the other day. So I don't think there's anything new on there, though. I don't see anything new. Man, Lynette. God, Lynette. Let me check your YouTube channel too, real quick. Then we'll continue. I've got to know. Is there anything new? I wasn't thinking. Pickles. Let me check real quick. Oh, I gotta know. Why haven't you posted about this, Lynette? I swear to God. Nope, nothing new yet. I figure there will be something though, there will be. All right, let's continue this.
I mean, she never did this, and yet I guarantee you it'll probably come out in the court documents somehow, some way.
Yeah,
so she's shushing crook of all.
They'll dump the court documents too. You watch. It won't be again. Hales has not dumped any of the protective order stuff into the public. None of those documents. When we ended up with them because Volpe posted them. And again, there's only a few ways. I can eliminate one right off the top. I can eliminate the way I think that happened again. Drawing together some story pieces, from postings, things that were said with 2L, certain things said in chats and more. I believe what they're trying to say is that Sean, the former attorney of record, ended up getting it and gave it to them. That's the way they were trying. Again, I'm not confirming that, but I think that's how they were saying. So when they got it, now Sean would not post that online or give it to Volpe. There ain't no way in hell he would give it to Volpe. That just wouldn't happen. So it was either given to BBB or 2L or somebody with, I don't see LP giving it to 2L. Now, JC could have done that. So one of those people could have given it to Volpe, or it was given to BBB and it was given to Volpe. But that's how we've ended up with everything, in fact, because Hales has abided by the protective order where the judge said, do not put it in public. Don't put these documents out there. And what's wild is even Cook said in his interview with Volpe, he said that the judge said for us not to be talking about this stuff. They know, like he admitted in that interview, that they know that they are violating judge's orders. Is just wild stuff, man. Anyway, let's continue.
People, the person who should probably keep her mouth shut is telling others to keep her mouth shut. Go figure that one out.
Their mouths, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about their decorum and their appearance. Now, you can see George and I, we clean up fairly nicely.
So
George cleaned it
I
really
managed
nice.
to.
Well, it's good. You know, with females, I can say as a male, I don't know. Like, it's harder for me to look like I put in some effort unless, you know, with females, they clean up like look very nice on there. And props to George, by the way, too. I don't say that enough. Props to George. Props to Jeremy. But yeah, Jeremy, I love how official he looks with his with his jacket and t-shirt. No, but it looks good. Like, if you button it up, you won't be able to tell it's a t-shirt. It's an undershirt, so it actually works. It's still funny, unbuttoned and everything. But he does. They actually do clean up very nicely.
Get the crust out of my eyes and put on a business casual top.
I even put on deodorant, even though we weren't in person. I just thought, you know what?
That's
Today's
good.
the day. Today is the day.
There you go.
So remember, you had Lynette and Crook's fingers all over like
Well,
this.
she didn't have her nails done,
Okay.
so she wasn't doing this.
So she
that's
wasn't
good,
doing
at
that
least.
this time with her
The
nails like
knuckle,
she's done
yeah.
before. But my
Yeah.
goodness, the jewelry, the gaudy,
But she's so
huge,
indigent.
the gaudy, huge jewelry just all over her hands.
Yeah.
But she's telling the judge
That's not-
she's indigent the
Yeah.
entire time.
That's also not good court etiquette. I like to wear, like, I have really long fingers. You know, I don't know if you can tell that when in pictures, but like I said, I have long fingers, and I like to wear 2 gold rings on my pinky. I wear them in 2s. If you ever see pictures and you can see I have ring band, you can see the bands on them. I usually wear 2 fingers on each with rings, but I do not wear that to a courtroom. That is not something you should go for. Again, you want to play it minimal, especially if you're going to tell people that you are indigent, that you have nothing. By the way, Lynette, here's a question. You know that permanent jewelry welder that she had? You know what I'm talking about, where she was doing permanent jewelry? I saw a posting where she had sold her permanent jewelry welder for $500. Now, those permanent jewelry welders are expensive. They're around they're over $1,000 if somebody pays the retail price for them. But does that mean you're out of the game for that, Lynette? Because you advertised it repeatedly as it being the next big thing that you would be doing. And I'm mentioning this because I saw somebody post about it, and I know you said you're not going to keep up your flea market stuff, but man, I mean, straight to that was an expensive piece of merchandise. And again, maybe it was gifted and you sold it off, but man, I mean, that might be a mistake. You might regret selling that one off there. But yeah, I saw a posting of it, and it definitely was her selling it, by the way. Yeah, for real. I saw this. The Jeremy and his Miami Vice look. For sure. Oh my God. I will catch every super chat, by the way, too. Thank you. There are over 24, almost 2,500 of you. Appreciate it. By the way, tell people we are live today. This was a Megalodonus Bow Day, but she is still driving. So, of course, we got this kicked off, and we had a really crazy day because she was technically not here. So today was crazy, of course, but this is usually her day. So if people were looking, they might think that there's no live stream today. So tell people we're live. Also, hit that like button. And if you'd like to go further, it is the beginning of the month. So if you'd like to help the channel out, especially in the early days of the month, that is always welcome for sure. Anytime's welcome, but the early days are definitely welcome. Think about sending some breadsticks and helping Hale channel. Thank you.
With just like real silver. You can tell it's real silver.
Yep.
Insanity. It's absolute insanity. So her hands are all up in here. There's ring on this knuckle, ring on this knuckle over here. I mean, it's so gaudy, and it's so
inappropriate.
It very much so lacks professional decorum for court. So Lynette is all bald over here, which is funny because
her hair was in a messy, like it looked like she had bedhead, like she just woke up out of bed. and just left it in a
So,
messy headpiece.
This chunk of hair is missing from her head. Now you could go, well, Jeremy, you're balding too. Well, yeah, I'm
Well, you're
thinning
a
here.
male.
And here,
Yeah,
when
you're
it looks
also
like
you,
I'm
yeah.
balding, that's actually a colic. My hair goes this way, but the other hair goes this way, and it's just weird.
Well, you're also a dude, you know. So I mean, well, there's not a lot of styles when your hair thins and although I have been very lucky in that. I've been very lucky in that. I used to think I would never gray as well. My granddaddy, I remember this. I have to tell you this real quick. It's not a long story, but it's worth it. My granddaddy, even in his 60s, I was like, man, his hair, beautiful color, great, right? Great color, looks good. I was like, man, I hope I have genes just like his. It'd be great, you know. And then after he passed, which was a sad time, by the way, but after he passed, I had one good laugh in all of that, even in the sad time. I was going through all of his stuff, and you know, I was packaging up some stuff because of figuring out what to do, like for the family and stuff. But anyway, I looked under his bathroom counter, and I found his hair dye. I was like, oh no. Oh no, his hair wasn't. I'd been hoping for a beautiful mane of non-gray hair, and he dyed it all the time. I was like, because I would tell him, I would be like, Granddad, your hair looks great, man. I was like, I don't ever see you do anything to it. And he was like, no. Like he wouldn't really answer, but he would be like, nope. And it led me to believe it was all good to go. And after that, I found it. I was like, damn it. Oh, it was almost like a joke. I think oh my God. I think it was an inside joke. It's like me. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes to amuse myself, like Megan has told you this before, like I'll keep a joke going for months and I will tell no one because it amuses me. But I mean, I will commit to a bit forever because every time I think I'm like, it's mine. I was like, man, I think my granddaddy played me on that one. Bravo to him, by the way. Oh, good person, man. You're funny stuff there. Oh man, love to you folks too. By the way, my hair has grayed, very much so. It definitely grayed, but it's I hate going to the barber, so my hair is long. It just from I hate going to the barber. I always have, but yeah, I haven't had that problem. But graying, oh yeah.
Well, it's more common for men than females.
That's why it's called male pattern baldness, not female pattern baldness. So she just looks like a mess. And Crook,
Bedhead. She showed up with bedhead and was wearing
it isn't really the missing hair. What it is not getting ready for it. You got to take, again, these are people that can deprive you of every liberty that you have. A court can. They can put you in jail. And again, with some of the stuff going on, I'd say by now, after so many, you violate yet again, you got to make sure that the courts understand that you think this is serious. Like when they look at it, here's the thing, Lynette. The court, after you violate it so many times, they don't think that you care about, remember, whether you agree that you violated or not, the court ultimately decides that. And if you're out there and you look like you don't care about what the court is, or you don't care about appearance or anything else, the court may think, well, they may draw inference from that. And they may be like, yeah, you don't give a shit about anything the court says. So again, I think that's a good lesson from all of that. Like I said, I try to be very fair in the way I address this. I think by now it's too late. You've already violated, but man, I think we really tried to give you good advice. We did. I think there are a lot of people around you. Like when I'd look at Marla Hughes, for example, trying to define what third party actually means. I mean, my eyes would roll up so far, I would think they might not roll back down. I was like, oh my God, can these people be any more wrong? Oh, anyway, let's continue.
I don't even know how to explain it. Just a dress down top. It wasn't even professional.
Crook has a nasty, dirty hoodie on and a backwards camouflage hat.
His hat was on backwards.
Again.
Oh
In the
no.
coat.
Again.
Camo one?
Again.
Appearing Zoom. When you appear by Zoom,
Still
you're
has
in
a hat on.
the courts.
Still has a hat on.
Yes.
Completely and totally.
Wear a hat. I like to wear a hat. I don't wear, you know, I know a couple of people wear trilbies. I wear a larger hat, you know, like an old school one. I wear my, my kids call it my old man hat, you know, because I am not, I'm not a young man anymore. So I like to wear a hat. My granddad always wore a hat. I loved it. Like I said, not a trilby, none of that bullshit, you know, an actual fedora type hat. I like them. But, you don't wear a hat into the courtroom. You take it off, right? You know, you definitely don't wear a cap. Wearing a cap is a sign of disrespect. You don't wear it to the table. You don't wear it into other people's homes unless you know them, you know? I mean, it's a sign of disrespect. And to wear it into court, it's a camouflage hat at that. It might as well have been one. You might as well have worn a sign that says, screw this place. I'm not paying attention. Oh my God, dude. Yeah.
Unprofessional.
Wrong.
Very
in every
I'm
aspect
surprised
of
the
it.
judge didn't make him remove his hat.
So the judge is getting frustrated at this point and finally just goes, fine. She goes, just shut your phones off and come back in on one phone, because the echoing is like, it's horrific. It hurts your ears, the whole deal. And so the judge just finally is frustrated.
Yeah, that's what happens too. You know, if you ever open two phones in the same area, imagine this shit show they're talking about. So you got these people, they're all pointing up in there. They've got a terrible echo because two phones are close together and they're connecting at one source. So that's got to be awful. That's going to be absolutely awful. You know, you'd have the timing problems. They would echo off of each other. Oh my God. And I'm sure both of them had their audio on, you know, instead of just turning one on. Oh my God. What a shit show. Oh my God. I need a little animated movie of this.
You know what? It's not the best idea to frustrate the judge from the get-go.
It's very bad.
And these two, well, they are true to form. It never seems to end. Mm-hmm. And so then...
So Cook didn't know how to jump off. He's like, how do I do it?
Yeah, Crook is literally going, how do we get off? How do we get off? How do we get off?
But he has no problems going on YouTube trolling people.
Yeah, no problem there.
Other sites.
And then Lynette's like, just shut the phone off. Just shut it off. And
then her screen just totally blacks out.
They're gone.
She hops off.
They're both gone, and the judge is going.
His mic is muted, but his camera.
Yeah, that's right. His camera went blank. His mic was muted. His camera went blank, and the judge is just sitting there going, "You got to be kidding me! You literally have to be kidding me!"
So she's like, "Just exit and read."
Hey, what's up, kiddo?
Okay.
What you doing?
Come
here.
You know, keep popping hunters.
Yeah. Are you watching TV?
I was gonna watch more TV, but I'm
Go watch the big TV if you want to.
up ceremony. Go.
Hey, where's the phone at? Did it die?
No.
Okay. You still playing it?
Yeah. My dad's out putting it out here.
Okay. All right. I noticed you got your she went over her Gigi's today, right? And her Gigi had an old shirt of her sister's, and she ended up she's wearing it around. I was like, you got a shirt with your sister's name on it, and she said, yeah, but that's when she was from little, so she's got it too. Hey, by the way, there are two people out there with birthdays. Wanda has a birthday, and gosh, who was the other? I saw two birthdays. Give me 1 second. Can't remember who else had a birthday. Gosh, I know somebody else had a birthday. It's driving me crazy. I apologize. I can't remember.
Two.
Yeah, I think there's at least two. Can you sing "Happy Birthday" real quick?
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear people in the chat. Happy birthday to you. Thank you.
And
What birthday song
if
is
you
it?
don't know what K-pop Demon Hunters is, just watch it on Netflix.
Yep, Netflix.
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 Neck.
Netflix. Okay. I like when you say it though. It sounds like Netflix. Did you just snort?
No,
You did.
you died, David. You died.
I heard you
You
snort.
died.
You said. You did. You snorted like a little piggy.
I'm not your pig.
All right. Hey, give me a hug. I got to continue my live stream, baby. Give me a hug. Give me a kiss on my cheek, dude. Right here.
If you ever watch K-pop Demon Hunters, watch it in the morning, but
In the morning. Why in the morning?
because when you awake and everyone's awake, maybe you can watch it, or just when you're awake.
Okay. It sounds great. All right.
Because
You
when
better go.
you just awake, then that means you can.
You better go play with my phone for a little bit before you have to put it up. Hey, DeFloofy said hey, by the way. All right, you want to say hi to DeFloofy real fast? I know you love DeFloofy cat. Yes, of course, DeFloofy cat. You want to say?
Thank you, Floofy Cat. Thank you, Floofy Cat. Thank you, Floofy Cat.
Man, 3 thank yous to the Floofy, huh? You also, yeah, but the Floofy said the Overlord say Perlo, like Perlo. You're like a purr cat to you and to Sissy.
Hello back.
Janae sent you $20. Said, "Oh, that's for you and Sissy." Said she loves you girls and you have the sweetest voice. Yeah, and Cynic in Chief sent you $2 for lip gloss and candy money for the bouncy umbrella girl.
Lip gloss.
That's right, lip gloss, and candy money too. Man, you racking that up, aren't you?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you forever.
Thank you forever. That's cool. All right, well, go do your thing. Go enjoy your phone time. You earned it today. You were good. Close my door too, okay? Love you. I got she'll be back. So I saw you with Fallen Hero. Thank you too. Give you some love as well. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you all making an atmosphere where she can say hey to. That's important. I want her to again. I want the kids to understand the internet is it's a two thing. There's two things to it. There's two sides. It can be very bad, but there are good people out there too. There are, just like in the world. Well, but anyway, let's continue this. She's so funny. She got my. I have a work phone. So if you find some people will every now and then find a number associated with something I do and they'll call it. And if they do, you may get me, but she's playing with it. I've got it in no call mode where she can give her a little bit of time since she was good. She wanted to play like a Pac-Man game. So I was like, all right, you can play a Pac-Man game. Here we go.
Join.
So she finally just said, would you just both shut your phones down and then rejoin on one? Because she's had it already with this garbage. All the echoing in the beginning, the nastiness. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yes. There were 2 unknown names, but their cameras were off on the screen.
Yes.
And Jeremy had asked the judge to have them identify themselves, and she did confirm they were court employees.
So while Crook and Lynette were gone, I unmuted myself. I said, Your Honor, can we please have the other individuals, and I named them by name, who are on this Zoom link right now identify themselves while we wait for the defendants? Yes. And she replied, she goes, those are court staff. I went, okay. Thank you. Yes,
because during one of the Zoom meetings, Elizabeth Bailey decided to join on.
Which would be Liz Bailey, California, okay? And so that was in Ohio courts.
Correct. And because she didn't...
And you've got to remember, too, so this was something I really tried my best not to put out dates and stuff, but the ecosystem leaked so much about this hearing. They leaked the date. They leaked information. They leaked all the info that was out there. And I'm sure that had to worry Hales, because with everything, I mean, you have to think, like, those actions, they may have people that would try to disrupt, or God knows what they might try to do. And that's why in hearings, you're supposed to show yourself on a screen, but you just never know what those people will pull. I think people have been very good with, as far as non-ecosystem, non-anti-Hales, I think people have been very good about not disrespecting process, not trying to interfere with the courts, not trying to insert themselves into cases. There's a difference in covering something and inserting yourself. And some of these people, they've done their best to go after, again, they go after lawyers. They do all kinds of just crazy shit. So I don't blame him at all for wanting to know who the other people were there. That, again, they're at a protective order. It's because people can't manage themselves or the people around them. That's why we're here at this point. So let's continue.
Identify herself.
She got
the judge booted her. She yeeted her off the Zoom.
So Crook, Lynette, they exit, they rejoin. And the judge starts talking about, all right, this is a status hearing. This is what has happened. The judge clearly sets out, this is what's happened. We are set for a full evidentiary hearing all day today because motions for continuance came in, because motions were going to go ahead and just have a status hearing. And she completely and totally lays the foundation and says there will be no conversations based on the merits of this lawsuit. This is only about procedure. Now, do you think she's talking to me and George about merits of the lawsuit or my lawyer, or do you think she's talking to Crook and Lynette?
Definitely not us. Definitely, because we're represented by an attorney. He does most of the talking for us, and he would know that. He knows about the court etiquette. So it's just a reminder for Preston and Cook.
It's not a reminder. It is a set guideline because she's already dealt with these two so much and she knows what they're going to do. And don't you worry, Lynette definitely jumps that ship, crosses that boundary multiple times.
They don't know how to follow instructions. Simple.
That's Lynette. God, lady. I know you listen to some of this stuff. Listen, lady. The judge here. I like the shit show. I think it's beautiful to watch. Okay? But I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be helpful here. I've tried to be helpful from the beginning where I was like, hey, don't do that. Don't listen to people like Marla Hughes or like Volpe who don't even understand how the V Against Women Act, how that actually works into protective orders. Like maybe don't listen to those people. But here too, when they give you instructions, follow them. You're not arguing the merits of the case. This is letting you know what's going on. So they set that guideline from the beginning. And of course, when I heard that, I thought, there's going to be a violation. It definitely will, right? When they said this, like, there will be a violation.
Instruction.
And judge puts her right back in her lane.
Multiple times.
Oh my man, I love this judge. Judge Grudge? Nope. This judge? Oh, yes. Yeah, let's keep it nice, neat.
Another thing.
Let's move forward. This is the law.
Another thing that you don't see him doing that's smart. And I'm not in a case with any of these judges. So I have the ability to talk about any of these judges I want. But you notice if there was, and he's never said anything, but there was any thought about any of these other judges not being good with something, you notice the judge that he brought up as this judge he is not. It's not an active judge. It's the judge that they won against. You don't pull what these idiots do all the time in the ecosystem. You don't sit around while you're in front of a judge like Belitho and talk shit about him and talk about how you put in clown memes. Will he do anything? Who knows? But he might. Or it might bias it. You just never know. So it's a smart move. When he brought that up, he was like, yeah, Judge Grudge, he's not. Like that's the way you roll there. That's the way you roll. You know, you don't sit around and actively call a judge a fucking clown that you're in front of. God, these ecosystem idiots. They do that, you know, like they've done that a bunch of times. They have. It's just amazing.
Pure and simple. So literally as the judge is setting the standard and saying, all right, there was a motion to continue. I've granted that motion for both individuals, Lynette and Crook.
On
This
October
is procedural.
30th. Mm-hmm.
On October 30th. Yes, she granted it on October 30th. Mm-hmm. And so she says this is pure procedural. There will be no conversations about the merits or any of the evidence. It's only about procedures, you know, setting dates, where are we going to go, what's going on. Lynette interrupts her as she's laying the ground rules and the guidelines. Mm-hmm. I can't believe it.
Why would you
literally can't.
Well, why are you surprised? You said the judge was prepared. You should have been prepared.
You know what?
You're
right. You're right.
Well, I mean, George is right in that.
The judge said,
George is right in that, but these people continually amaze me because you would think at a certain point, like, you know, again, there's just some base guidelines you would think most people would understand. But then again, I get the feeling like Lynette has been told repeatedly, you can do whatever you want. You get that feeling like people have said that. It's so wild.
As okay, I have approved the motion for Zoom for status and for the status hearing for today, not for the evidentiary hearing that is coming, but the status hearing for today. I've approved the continuances, and Lynette says, we have not been served, and goes on to say, we are only here because we feel so strongly.
She said.
By the way, another part of last night for the ThATuMBRELLAgUY, just to note this, they brought up the idea that Jeremy wants people jailed. They said he brought up Bruce. They bring up Michelle and Preston and them with the protective order too. They brought up Bruce and Bruce's court order to appear in December. He keeps saying everyone has to appear in person. No, they don't. If they don't want to, you have to put in again for certain types of appearances. But it's like, oh, that's because they want them to be arrested. He wants Michelle and John to be arrested in Ohio too. He stated that. Well, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he want these people arrested? I mean, they keep talking about how they're trying to send police to go have Hale arrested. Why the fuck wouldn't he want these people arrested? It just blows my mind, man. These people are so fucking crazy. They brought up Bruce 21 times last night, by the way. Oh my God.
They're only there because they feel so strongly about this. But if they didn't get served, then how did they know to appear via Zoom and to file that motion for continuance in a Zoom link?
Well, that's a good thing because the judge then says, Crook, you got anything to say? After she shuts Lynette up. And then Crook goes, yeah, we haven't been served. And he literally tells her, you cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. Crook literally tells her, the only reason we know about this is because we read it on YouTube from a reporter from Chicago. Interesting, because the only way a reporter from Chicago could know about that is if Crook and Lynette's side, whether it be Deuce, which it definitely was, Sean Martin probably got the actual paperwork then, gave it to Deuce or gave it to Lynette, gave it to Crook and Lynette.
I'm guessing, again, what happened. This is my guesswork on it. Like I said, I think that Sean Martin, he was the last attorney of record, so he wouldn't be doing anything wrong in this, by the way, just to make this clear. He wouldn't be violating in some way, you know, if he did this. But these people, like with Sean Martin, okay, so he delivers to them all of this stuff. Like, again, like he's supposed to. He's the last attorney of record. They turn around, and again, it pops up in other hands. Now, Sean Martin, again, I feel very confident that Sean would not put this in any of these idiots' hands. Like I said, you know, there is no way. So they did. They dumped it. Like he's saying, they dumped it into these idiots. And it blows my mind because they're admitting to it. They read about it with them because they gave it to. Why would you admit this stuff? Why would you admit so many stupid things, John? Jeez, man. These people are they are beyond. When I say I realize some of these people are very stupid, they don't disappoint. They go beyond that level where I'm like, okay, well, I have an expectation that they're going to do dumb things. I have this expectation, but they take it. It's like a goalpost, and they move it. They move it like a whole football field away. I'm continually stunned by the level of stupidity that I see, and I shouldn't be. Just like George said to Jeremy there. Well, yeah, I mean, you do know the people you're dealing with. Why are you surprised? I shouldn't be surprised. Oh my God. I mean, it's amazing.
Gave it to Vomit and posted it. These are sealed court documents. And Crook literally throws himself under the bus. And
I take that back, by the way. They mentioned Bruce 28 times last night by name. And who knows how many other times. That's a 21.
We only know about this because a reporter from Chicago has it on YouTube.
On YouTube. Who do we know that's a reporter that lives in Chicago and reports on YouTube?
Who do we know that claims to be a reporter in Chicago that is going to have his own court date in Ohio in front of this judge?
Who do we know
My goodness.
that has harassed you, third-party contact, multiple times that lives in Chicago?
Which is part of the evidentiary hearing. Literally. This idiot.
Wow. He just handed it over.
I'm in awe. I'm in awe. I don't know how many times we have to even go I get it. I go public and I go, look how dumb these people are. They just hand us evidence and evidence and evidence. And you think they would get a clue and stop. Nope. Every time I say it, they give us more. It's like Christmas. I mean, you don't even have to unwrap it. It's just right out there for the taking.
It is true.
They make it too easy.
Right to the judge.
Right
he
to
states
judge.
this.
Yeah.
He states it to the judge. Mm-hmm. The judge already has evidence on Vomit, on what's happened, the interview, everything. This is part of this case.
Yes.
And
he is one of the many reasons why we got the ex parte granted and continued.
They're in court because of Vomit and Fleesa and Deuce and themselves. And so, oh my goodness. So, Your Honor, the only reason why we know about this and we're here today is because we saw it on YouTube from a reporter in Chicago. Yeah, that's actually evidence in this case.
Well, also, all of that doesn't make sense either. The spin that they're saying, the only reason we found out about it is because this guy, he told us about it. Well, first of all, that's a bunch of bullshit. Because he would not have access to those documents. Again, we aren't talking about something that's docketed and you could just go and pull up whatever. That's what they tried to say, but that's not true. You can't just pull this shit up. So they're lying about how they found out. Maybe, again, Cook, maybe you're so stupid that you don't understand how things work. But either you or Lynette were given the documentation. So one of you two got it. And I mean, you could throw Sean under the bus and try to cause him problem. Motivate Sean, please. I wish somebody would motivate him, because one thing I'll tell you is that Sean, he's been very professional in this stuff, but Sean's been on the internet a long time. And one thing he can do is he can throw down. And I really want Bruce and these people to motivate him outside to go after his reputation some more and attack him some more, because motivate that guy. Again, I think when Sean looks at this and looks at the mess, you notice he never came after Jeremy. Part of that was, of course, after he took the case on, I mean, he didn't talk about it. He stopped talking about it. Part of that's supposed to be how you handle it with professionalism. Even Jeremy talked about how stupid and all this stuff was. He wasn't talking about it. And in the aftermath, the people that are going after Sean, it isn't Jeremy. You know, Jeremy has his opinions on him, and he's welcome to those, by the way. I think they're earned opinions for sure. But the ecosystem is after his reputation. They have been contacting people, putting out articles about him and more. So I hope they continue throwing him under the bus, because they will motivate him one day, and that would be really funny. I would really like to see Sean go after someone like 2Ls, because they think they want it. They think we're all mean. They think people like myself are mean. I am pretty calm as far as a YouTuber that comments on things. I'm very calm in a lot of that. Yes, I may make fun of the fact they slurp down chicken skin and more, but I'm pretty nice along the way. They step into that arena, and they tried, by the way. They tried to bring in a certain element to go after Jeremy Hales, and they don't want that. They are like living embodiment of memes. They do not want those people coming in. They think they do until they see pictures of them, you know, and holy shit. Then, oh God, they're AI. Oh God, it would be such a shit show. They really don't want it.
Can you believe this?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. I almost lost it. I literally almost lost it.
I
crazy,
was able
man.
to hold my composure.
Oh,
I was
man.
like, I have to take notes, and I can't miss a beat.
Okay. All right. So the judge then states, well, if you haven't been served, you're obviously here. Are you waiving your right for service to be here today in the status hearing? She goes, do you want to move forward? So she asked Lynette, do you want to move forward? Lynette says, yes. Mm-hmm. And then she goes, Crook, do you want to move forward? And Crook says, yes. Mm-hmm. So they're crying to her about not being served, then stating they only know about it because of vomit. And then they go, yeah, we want to go forward. Mm-hmm. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So then she asked my lawyer and says, all right, do you have anything to add to this right now? And he says, absolutely. As we are talking about procedures and only procedures, and as we look forward to the next court date for the evidentiary hearing, we request that these two, Crook and Lynette, must appear in person, the same way as we did for this evidentiary hearing that was then changed into a status hearing.
Yes.
They must report in person. You have found them guilty multiple times. Mm-hmm. Their decorum, their lack of professionalism with Zoom, the many issues that they present, the issues, the
separation of witnesses.
Of witnesses. They're talking the entire time when we're in court.
Dumb.
They must be here in court with bailiffs next to them and under proper control and authority of the court. Now, you also understand.
It would only be proper court decorum.
So you also understand the other reason is the judge can have them arrested immediately. Found guilty during the hearing, boom, you're going to jail immediately. Don't have to extradite, don't have to hire a bounty hunter to go get them from Florida, bring them up to Ohio. It's a done deal. Judge says guilty, you're going to jail. And so the Lynette then comes in and says, we completely object. We completely object. And then she goes, we're indigent. We're handicapped.
We're both disabled people.
We've got a disabled child.
And we're indigent, and that she will prove their innocence.
We have everything we need to prove our innocence. Oh,
this is the part where...
And then Lynette goes, this shouldn't even be in Ohio.
Don't say that to the judge.
Oh my, why would you?
To the judge. She said this should not even be in Ohio.
See, that's a stupid thing, Lynette. The judge has not only stated that it is supposed to be in Ohio, but they explained why. She gave you guys a verdict, but before she did that, there were questions that had been asked, and she answered those. That was something else that I don't know what to call it. Do I call the quote-unquote journalists you guys brought in? Do I call them your PR as well? I'm not even sure what to call those idiots, you know. But that was something else they leaked too. They ended up leaking part of the discussion about that. And the judge, they talked about how this works as part of jurisdiction, how enforcement works. The judge, again, went over all of that. I mean, that was a courtesy that judge did not have to apply to you folks, but they did. They went out of their way. So for you to argue that, you've already been down this road. You've had that argument. Again, you've had the judge answer that, and you're essentially not just disrespecting the court and disrespecting the judge and their verdict, but you're doing it at the wrong time. You know, you've been told repeatedly by idiots that are surrounding you that something is wrong and you shouldn't be in this court. Well, here's the reality is jurisdiction is fine. Those people are very wrong. And if you keep listening to these morons, you will go to jail, lady. You will. So as far as this stuff is concerned, I don't know how to tell you that any better. I don't think you're not looking out for yourself. And again, all this is you and Cook's fault. You know, as far as the courts are concerned, you control your behaviors, but those people aren't doing you any favors, lady. They're not. All these people that are surrounding you, they are turning on you real time. And some of the things that they do, I really think they're trying to put you in jail. They're giving you advice that is so bad sometimes that I think these people, they can't be this dumb. They're working against you. Maybe you slighted somebody. Maybe you did them wrong somehow. I'm not sure what happened, but really, I feel like they are trying to put you in jail actively. It's crazy.
And the judge immediately stopped her.
Now, keep in mind, Lynette is going to post publicly on social media, this never happened. This 100% happened. 100%. Judge stops her in her tracks, rebukes her yet again.
Remember that too, Lynette, when you said things didn't happen. Remember saying that certain things didn't happen in the hearing before with Judge Grabe, where the entire ecosystem came out and they were in unison shouting down Jeremy, saying that certain statements that were attributed to Grabe, they were never stated. And guess what we found out? We found out they were real. You know, again, we get told everything's a lie, nothing's real. My God, by the way, this is just a note. So while I'm doing this, I also go through it. I'm searching some of the transcripts to see what I pulled up from last night. You know, we'll I was pulling out all the Bruce talk, you know, making sure I saw everything there. Well, the funny thing is that they really did throw him under the bus while pretending they weren't throwing him under the bus. Yet again, it's amazing. I'm going to have to show you guys this later on because it's something else. You know, I think they're afraid of Bruce in a way. I think they are. I think they're afraid of Bruce, and maybe they should be. You know, I mean, Bruce he strikes me as a very vindictive person. So maybe they should be afraid of him. He probably knows a lot about them too, but they definitely threw him under the bus. So let's continue though. God, you know, tonight too, they're going to be like, remember too, they're going to have a live stream tonight and they're going to pretend that they didn't sit there for fucking months and tell people that this wasn't real. The protective order was over. There were no hearings. Nothing happened. They're going to pretend tonight. They're going to lie to their audience tonight. The whole ecosystem, just like they have been doing, they're going to gaslight people. And I mean, it's unreal. It is unreal. It's unreal that people buy this by now.
Again, and tells her, this will not be discussed. Do you understand? So,
again, you know, procedural, not merits.
Do you understand? My lawyer just tells the judge they need to be here in court, in person, under the authority of the court, with sheriff, with bailiffs, making sure that they are in the proper decorum, proper procedure, and that they stop this insanity that they do on Zoom. And what does Lynette immediately do? Insanity on Zoom. Like, this is almost as good as Crook going, we read it on YouTube from an investigative reporter. I mean, come on.
We can't afford to just pick up and move, and we're disabled. But this is the same woman who wanted to take a camper and travel all over the world to go mining for crystals and rocks.
But
I forgot about that.
The camper with her vehicle, so how in the world is she going to travel? Oh wait, the same people who picked up and moved and stalked us to Otter Creek, thinking that there was a strategy that they were going to make millions off of their rescue and B&Bs.
Off of our rescue, animal rescue.
Don't worry. There's a strategy, as she told everybody as she stalked us to Otter Creek.
Yes.
Yeah, they pretty much know how to pick up and move, don't they? They've done it.
She's done it from state to state.
Oh boy. So Judge complete.
By the way, Jeremy, if you guys hear this, I have found something in the transcript from last night too, and I'm going to note that this stuff should be preserved because this is an admission by 2L and them. Okay, they said, they said with John, they talk with him through messenger and email. They don't talk through phone call, which that's not what I hear. But okay, that means that they have preservable records where they discuss things with him. Admittedly, they bring this up at an hour, 33 minutes and 40 seconds through an hour, 34 minutes and 39 seconds, or an hour, 34, 39 to 40. So they actually bring that up. So those are admitted contacts. They are items discussing Jeremy Hales. There are communications between these folks, and they're supposed to be preserved. So they admitted. So if they don't turn that stuff over, remember, we've heard about how many communications they have. Just a note, that is noted in their own words. So fun times.
Totally reboots her, puts her back in her place. And by the way, this is not the only time by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, there's more.
It keeps coming. It keeps coming. And all Lynette and Crook do is continue to prove the point of our lawyer. You cannot control these freaks. You must have them in a court with the sheriff next to them and make them properly adhere to court decorum and professionalism and order. And that's the biggest thing. There is no order when it comes to these two at all.
And the cleanest I've ever seen John appear in court is when he was in a jumpsuit with a buzz cut.
From prison.
With a buzz cut. That was the cleanest he's ever showed up to court.
Okay. So she then, after she rebukes Crook, or excuse me, Lynette, she rebukes Lynette. She then talks about their motion for lawyers. Now, keep in mind, Lynette has already posted. As a matter of fact, can you bring that post up? Lynette has posted already. She understands. She knows.
She tried to pull the stunt back in 2023.
So in 2023, she tried to pull this stunt as well.
That's what I'm saying. This has already been done.
This is not criminal. The government doesn't give you a free lawyer. Go ahead. And
this was September 18th of 2023.
I'm well aware.
You know why, though? You know why they do this? Because people like Belief, though, stepped out. And even though they weren't supposed to be helping with their other, again, I'm not comparing the protective order to that, but still, even though it is highly unusual, that is something that you never see, he decided he would step out and say, oh, well, we'll offer this. And if anybody wants to take it, court funds, even though that is highly, highly unusual. And really, to my opinion, highly prejudicial too, for a court to do that. Again, that's a problem, a big problem. But she probably got the message there, and she thinks, hey, work there, maybe it'll work again. Because she was told no before in that court too. But yeah, you can see where she's saying that. I'm well aware. Look, he'll read it, but you can see that there. I'm well aware I don't get court-appointed attorneys for civil cases. Wow. So, why would you note that? Are you figuring, what are you thinking, Lynette? You think they're going to make a mistake and be like, well, this time I'll do it, though. This time I'll do it. What did you think would happen, Lynette? You said you knew about it.
I don't get a court-appointed attorney for civil cases.
Wow, too bad. I'm smarter than you give me credit. And this was in her old Facebook group that she has now deleted.
Which is destruction of evidence, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
so whenever there's destruction of evidence, then what happens is you're allowed to infer guilt based on destruction of evidence.
If she's so innocent, why would she delete that Facebook group?
So she already knows. She's clearly communicated in the past. She knows you do not get a free lawyer. And the judge goes on to say, you are in a civil case. You do not get free appointed counsel.
She said the courts will not appoint an attorney for you. You need to retain your own attorney. You have every right to retain your own attorney.
She does.
So
you should.
Lynette goes on to state, now remember, Crook has already told the judge.
Lynette, on top of this too, you should actually you should talk to your previous counsel and ask them why they. Again, I have not talked to your previous counsel, just to say, but you should talk to somebody outside of the idiots that chirp in your ears all the time. You should talk to another attorney outside of this, not one to. First of all, you need to be thinking smart. I realize what I'm saying there too, but you need to be thinking in terms. You always think about vindictiveness, like going out, attack. Well, you should be looking at what the hell have I gotten myself into here? What's going on? You should be asking yourself that. And you should be talking to a lawyer about what exactly you should be doing. Because I damn well will tell you, you can get a free consultation. Because a lawyer would damn well tell you, don't do what you're doing right now. The things that you're doing everything you shouldn't be doing. Let's just say it that way. Ugh.
Judge that they saw this online from a reporter in Chicago. Lynette goes on to state,
I can't believe
she goes, well, the only
did
reason
that.
why we asked is because we saw this paragraph of the order online. Sealed documents. Sealed documents. They saw it from Vomit. Sealed documents. Make sure you understand that. Sealed documents. The only people that get it are the plaintiffs, defendants. It didn't come from us. So where'd it come from? They're literally telling the judge they're guilty. They are going to be in court because of this. I can't stress this enough. This is one of the pieces of thousands of pieces of evidence is that Vomit has posted this and it came from them. This is not allowed. And she goes on to say, well, we saw this paragraph. It was posted on YouTube. And the judge cuts her off again. The insanity of it all. I can't even wrap my head around. This isn't even the evidentiary.
Oh, by the way, too, just a note as well, if somebody notes this, as far as evidence is concerned for these people, they talked about Ohio last night as well. They brought it up at 1 hour, 43 minutes, 34 seconds. They talked about what was going on, where it was going to be. I mean, it's so crazy, you know? It's so crazy. I mean, these nuts, man.
Hearing. This is just a status hearing to go, yep, I granted the continuance. When's the next day of court? And this is where we're already at in a status hearing. The insanity. Like, two things should have happened. I granted the continuance. When's the next court date? And it should have been done. That's it. But Lynette and Crook, they're always there to entertain. There's no doubt about it. So the judge then goes on to say, listen, we have 4 open active cases right now. So we have 4 cases on Lynette and Crook, and there are other cases coming against Vomit, Paint Chips, Fleesa, Deuce. There's a handful of other individuals as well, all third-party contributors. And so she goes, we have 4 active cases.
See, that's the thing. There is so much proof of third-party interaction on this. It's wild. It is. It's wild. And with people like Paint, I mean, they make threats, like violent threats. Some of them absolutely have. It has been recorded. But you also have, again, with Lynette, when people are coming in, see, Lynette doesn't get this. When people have come into this case, she has a protective order against her. They're putting up, explicit, let's say, videos. Again, you think that female judge is going to like that video? The one that got Paint Chips' channel taken down. Do you think she's going to like that? Because on that same video where Lips shared it, you have LP commenting, thanking them, bringing in. I have a video recording and screenshots from then. And I mean, it's wild. Do you think a judge is going to feel good about like your comment under there? While still shots of that video with Jeremy Hales and, you know, again, what they put up there with Megan Fox too, and your comment of, hell, thanks for getting involved in this. You think that's going to look good? Because what it does is it looks like you soliciting a third party to harass Hales. Because again, that video, it wasn't just a disputed one. It gets taken down and the whole channel goes down because of it. And now these other idiots, by the way, the idiots that Cook says, oh, I found out that this case was coming up. They lost their entire channel because of the insanity that's up. And part of that, I would guess, would be aimed at Hales. You can definitely prove, this is the crazy thing, you can definitely prove that Paint Chips ended up losing his channel because of that specific video. But on top of it, Paint Chips is on with Volpe. They have all this other jacked up material, and John Cook's bringing them up again. Not very smart. It's levels of it that aren't smart. It's not just, hey, I heard about this from this party, but also, well, what else did you hear or participate with them on? God, it's so dumb to bring them up.
Right now on Lynette and Crook, and she asked my counsel, she says, would you like to consolidate? Can we take the 4 cases and consolidate them into one? And he says, absolutely, for, you know, for resources of the court, for clarity, for streamlining, and, you know, just to keep everything, the court docket and the record clean. We are all for just consolidating the 4 cases into one case.
That way only one judge is presiding
overall. And so that's specific towards Lynette and Crook. That's not upcoming litigation against the others. But for Lynette and Crook, the 4 cases will most likely be consolidated into one case now. One case, all the same evidence, all the same things happening, but so you got 4, which then you just blend them all together into one.
Yeah. So guess who objected?
This is crazy. This is crazy. Okay. Now this is crazy because Lynette and Crook object. You want to tell them about
she objects?
Yeah. So Lynette was the very first person to object. She goes, Your Honor, I object to it all. I want separate. It was a new motion. There's new allegations. Okay, well, there were new allegations the second time they were in contempt of court, and she didn't object to separating it. So I thought that was weird that she objected to it and wanted to keep it separate because there's new allegations.
That's funny.
Keep in mind, you have to remember this because we're going to come up to another point. Lynette objects to all of this. She wants everything separate, which you're probably already going, I can do a little foreshadowing. Later, she's going to want everything, them two together. You're good. You're good. Okay, so complete and total objections.
And then she tells the judge, Your Honor, Mr. Hales hasn't even been in Florida for the last 6 months.
And the judge goes off on her again. Goes off on her again.
Oh, by the way, Jeremy, if you want some fun stuff to bring up, like I said, when you bring up these parties, there'll be a lot of fun because they not only attack you, and like last night, they were bragging about how, look at this stuff. See, they're such clowns. They tell you, you know, they have lawyers in the family and stuff like that, right? They love to say that, but they're such clowns that they don't understand how any of this stuff works. So check this out. I want to show you something real fast, and we'll go back to that. Give me 1 minute. Check this out. This is so stupid, man. So last night they're talking about Ohio. You ain't got shit on me except I'm gonna debunk your way. You know, I guarantee you, if I go to the judge, he's going to be like, you're stuck in the chubs. You lied. You lied. But then they want to make fun of you. And look, these people understand protective orders so well that they also bring up the Violence Against Women Act. And they're like, this is what they have to say. This works real good too, because again, this is character assassination. They're like, hey, you're nothing but an effing liar from day one. And you try to use the DV claim as against women to go, oh my God, you're pathetic. What kind of man are you? I don't even think you're a man. I think you're a freaking, and it's amazing because when they're throwing this out there, it's so ridiculous because they don't even understand that act, it works for men and for women. It doesn't, it at first was gendered, but it becomes a non-gendered stepping off point. They don't even get that. So again, the reason I bring this up too, again, it's not just to mock them, although I think that's funny, but also to mock the fact that these are the people that Preston and Cook have been taking a lot of their cues from. It's the same talking point you hear from Volpe and all these other morons. And again, they can't just look up online, hey, how does that work into this? How in a protective order does that act actually align with this? Because if you do just a modicum of research, as in type a question, you don't have to research. You just type out the question. It pops up. I might have a little raider. Just a second. What's up, kiddo? Oh, is it dying out on you? Hey, no, don't grab that. Hey, don't grab this cord. There's a cord right over there. Hey, can you do me a favor? Hey, come here for 1 second. Can you talk for just a second? I got to go grab something real quick. Can you talk for just a minute? Can you actually hold the stream down for just a minute? Come here. Okay. You can stand here. Can you talk though? Okay. You can't be quiet the whole time. Now she's gonna hold it down for less than a minute. Okay. Here. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Well, hop in the chair if you want to. There you go. You gonna hold it down for me for a minute?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Thank you. Go ahead and talk.
Hey. This is my first time.
Yeah, you have to talk to them and tell them about stuff. Tell them about something.
I usually play my mood sometimes, and I thank you, and you're the best.
Perfect. You talking to them.
And when I play it, think about you.
You're doing great.
And it's the best time with you. And you made me happy.
You were doing so good. I could hear you. My goodness, that was amazing. Thank you very much. I had to grab my medicines, so thank you. You helped me out quite a bit. Thank you very much. I plugged up the thing for tomorrow, okay? I plugged it up for you. All right.
I don't like when stuff gets to 3% or lower.
Okay, well, I plugged it up, so it'll be charging for tonight or tomorrow, okay? And then if you're good and do everything. Thank you. Okay, close my door. I had to go grab my meds. I thought, well, instead of putting up a little bumper or something, she could hold it down for me for a second. Thank y'all. Appreciate that. All right, I got to turn my monitor back on here. There we go. All right. Here we go. Let's get again. Appreciate it, folks. I thought, like I said, I could either put in a bumper song or we could actually do that. And she's just so cute. You notice anytime she talks, by the way, to me. Oh, thank you for my little downing tone. Thank you. You notice that she does. She goes, yes, ma'am, to me, by the way. That is not an identity thing, if you were wondering. That is actually, when she was little, she did not understand the difference between yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. Everybody was yes, ma'am. And she calls other people yes, sir. But for myself, she thinks that that's part of, I guess, parent. When you say, yes, ma'am, she does it. I think it's cute, and I don't want to correct it. It's so cute. One day it'll go away, but I love, she's adorable, right? You know, with everything. So I'm clinging on to those last vestiges of her being really little, but I think that's really cute. Anyway, let's continue here.
And again, and says this is
procedural.
We are not to talk about the merits of the case.
Why in the world would Lynette even
And
state?
she throws up her hands like this.
Why would Lynette state to the judge, Mr. Hales hasn't been in Florida in 6 months? What does that have to do with anything?
And how would she know that?
So let's be extremely clear. Me and where I'm at in the world means nothing. And so people that go, Ohio has no jurisdiction. Ohio has complete jurisdiction because this is my residency. So this is cyber stalking.
Correct.
This is anywhere. I could be in another country and she's doing it to us. Do you get it? All right. So there's more than enough online.
Well, they don't understand the enforcement portion either. They don't understand not just, there are no, these days, there are no boundaries because we're having this electronic medium. It knocks down a lot of it, but protective orders anyway. Protective orders. We're not living back in the the 1920s where you have bank robbers that could just go across state lines and be like, oh, nobody can follow me anymore. The laws have they kind of caught up with that, So. Just saying.
Online harassment, cyber stalking, in person, the whole deal.
Right.
Our lives, our livelihoods have been threatened.
So the complete name of the protective order is Civil Stalking Protective Order. It has nothing to do with them physically being here. It's all part of their cyberbullying and cyber stalking of us. And we have the proof the very first time we took it to court. And Crook and Preston both admitted to knowing about the exhibits, where they came from, and what it was about.
Well, they did it.
Because it was all online and had nothing. And Crook brandishing the pew-pew was one of the many reasons.
That one was
Holy crap. Here's you a statement from last night. Sorry, I realize this is random, but I just ran across this. So she's throwing a fit last night, and she says this about Hales. She's like, I've got news for you. You can't get access to my bank accounts and stuff. And oh, by the way, I think he's a pervert. Every time he does something, he references smexual all the time. I think he needs to grow up, or not grown up. He ages. He's going to turn out to be a dirty old man. What we used to call Herbs. He's going to be buying women the rest of his life to do all kinds of stuff. And by the way, not one, not two, but 3 women last summer. She makes all these crazy freaking claims. Here, that right, man, what a moron to say stuff like that. They're like, oh well, I'm not defaming you. I'm just gonna say these things about you. No, nothing to draw it back. This is crazy, man. I'm marking that because that is nuts. Wow. They keep saying they never have made any kind of statements about the sign type of stuff, And yet you have things like that are just outlandish to see. Gross, man.
That was in person. Yes.
Okay. So the judge then asked Crook, what do you want to do? You want to consolidate them or you want to put it into one? Crook goes, we want it separate. We want it all separate. 4 cases. This idiot who's trying to get a lawyer is now going, I want 4 cases. I want to pay a lawyer for 4 cases instead of
4
1.
cases now.
Like, I can't even wrap my head around it.
So I'm pretty sure I
That's
heard
funny.
the judge say that it's up to the courts to decide.
Give me
that.
give me free counsel,
Yes,
but by the way.
The judge says, well, ultimately, I will take this all into consideration, but it's my decision.
Right.
And so she allowed both sides to actually speak and say their piece in regards to it, but it's her decision. Now, I think it's very, very evident it's going to be consolidated into one case. So 4 cases are going to be consolidated into one.
Yeah,
Streamlined and just keep it clean.
And then my lawyer says,
That's typical.
Your Honor, can we just lock in court dates now? You know, since you already just rebuked Lynette and Crook again, can we just go ahead? Can we lock in the evidentiary hearing?
Yes, he requested a half a day. He said, I believe we'll need about a half a day.
He says at a minimum a half a day, but we're going to need a full day. Which is funny because later Lynette agrees.
No, I didn't hear him say full day. I heard him say half day. It was
said,
Lynette and Crook who wanted a full day.
So my lawyer said half a day minimum, but we'll probably need a full day.
Yes.
So why George didn't hear that, Lynette and Crook do later go, we need a full day because we have so many witnesses. We have all the evidence. We have it, which the judge shuts her down again, but we'll get to that. And so.
And then he talks about how there's
well, actually, that was it. That was it. So Lynette is there going, we need a full day. We have law enforcement. We have everybody who's going to be our witnesses. We have all the evidence. And judge shuts her down again.
She spoke and the judge stopped her. Stopped her again.
Procedure. It's procedure. You go, yes, I need a full day. No, I don't want a full day. It has nothing to do with.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the judge had to explain to her again. You cannot interrupt and talk over each other. Wait until she asks you and then speak, because you want to keep the record clean with the court employees on. Those were probably court reporters taking notes. And when people are talking over each other, you don't get a clean record. The transcripts become all jumbled and the court reporter gets confused. So you have to wait. You can't just blunt and just blurt out whatever you're thinking the way Lynette does. She's 100% guilty of doing that all the time. Cook was more reserved and waited.
Well, that's because Lynette Schuster.
I will say that Cook was at least waited until the judge spoke to him and told him he can speak.
Well, after the judge rebuked Lynette again, going, we need a full day because we have witnesses, law enforcement. Which we've heard that Beecham is going to be there as a witness and
that he was willing to be a witness for the Ohio court.
Please do. Please.
Yes, I cannot wait.
We can't wait for the smackdown of Ohio on Florida.
Yes.
And what they are done, they are breaking federal law, they are breaking state law. Yes. And so please,
if the undersheriff shows up as a witness on her side,
oh my goodness.
Oh my God, this is just handing it over
for our case.
Oh my God. Yeah, that would be the dumbest thing ever. If the undersheriff has told her that he is going to involve himself in that, it would be a gift from Levy County. It would be. That would be an absolute gift from Levy County. It would prove, number one, that the claims that Jeremy Hales has been talking about with the protective order, they not only failed to enforce the protective order, but they've been actively helping Lynette Presley. Why would you ever like that? That's just crazy. I mean, why would you? But she's saying, you think about the statements in this. So she's claiming that Levy County law enforcement have been actively conspiring with her. That these people, again, they are either active or previously active. Because they chose to ignore the protective order, ignore everything that was involved. But beyond that, they would come to Ohio knowing that there have been the court. It disagreed with violation. These people have. Can you imagine what would be used against them? Could you imagine the liability? I hope you show up. I fucking hope they do. Because what that'll open them up to is questioning about what had gone on with Dan Owens. They would absolutely be allowed. And that would be a field day, man. Oh, God, I hope they do it. My God, if they're dumb, and they may be dumb enough to do that. But you think about I don't know how to put in the magnitude of what is being alleged there, because the allegation is that Levy County has been sitting around and plotting with these people to go after Jeremy Hales while stating that they will not enforce his protective order, to the point that they're willing to involve themselves in other court cases. Like that's insanity, man. That is absolute. Like the level again. You want media attention? Holy shit, dude. It will rain hellfire down if they involve, because already they need to understand, whether you're pro police or not, these people in Levy County have some real problems, and they are definitely, most people are not pro corrupt police, but with mainstream media, they love a good story about police corruption. They absolutely love it. And to have a county again conspire with somebody, protective order against, again, you got to think about this too. One of the things, they keep talking shit about Jeremy, and they keep saying, well, this act, the Violence Against Women Act, it doesn't pertain to him. Well, there's another person on this. There is a woman. And absolutely, the way that they want to try to, understand it, again, it's wider than that. But even from their understanding, they have to understand that there is a female attached to it too. And I imagine that media would have a field fucking day just decimating Levy County. I mean, they've got a lawsuit against him. God, they may be able to, they could potentially create a mess in the immediate, but oh my God, God, just the idea of it, when I think about this, it blows my mind. It absolutely blows my freaking mind to even hear this idea spoken aloud.
Against Florida, against Dan Owens,
yes,
against Levy County
Sheriff. It just shows the bias and the prejudice.
Please.
Oh my God, please do.
Oh my goodness. This is like the bankruptcy case. Please.
Have some donuts. I'll even send some donuts over ahead of time.
So she rebukes Lynette yet again, puts her back in her place, and then says, "Crook," and he goes, "We need a full day."
He agreed that
we need a full day. We need a full day. We need a full day.
But that's all he said. He didn't mention witnesses and how many and who they
were. Now we state that we have 3 witnesses, and so we have 3 witnesses that are going to be there during the evidentiary hearing as well. Yes. Hey, maybe we should contact Beecham and have him be a witness for us, and give time.
Okay, so hey, I had a clarification on something. I do appreciate this. So, in orders to appear and show cause, specifically that as far as counsel and indigents, even on the orders to appear, like for this, they can request. Now, they've been told before, nope, you can't have one. But as far as even on the orders to appear and show cause, that will appear on that. So I appreciate that, again, if it's something comes in. Now, she's heard this before. That would be the thing in 2023. She was already told, but, she would still be allowed to request. So to throw that in there.
Testimony of how he has broken federal and state law, and he hasn't actually enforced our civil protection orders.
Well, I don't think he could be a witness for both sides. It's one or the other, and I'm going to choose their side.
We're going to cross-examine him. Oh my goodness, I cannot. This is going to be pure gold. If Beecham shows up for this evidentiary hearing as a witness for Lynette, and we have all the evidence for our lawsuit against Florida, oh my goodness, it just
it'll just help our case. That's all.
You can't make this stuff up now. Here's the downside.
Wait, maybe we should edit this part out so he doesn't show up.
Okay, remind me to edit that out later, okay? And here's the downside to all of this.
Wait, cut.
Okay, cut. And
okay.
And here's the downside to all of this. We now have to wait for the evidentiary hearing till December 5th.
Yeah, so it's been pushed back to December 5th, which isn't bad. I thought maybe it would be pushed out 2 months from now, but December 5th isn't too bad.
Well, I wanted to be back in Florida before then, and potentially may still and potentially may not. So now we have to figure out, do we go back to Florida, then fly back up for the evidentiary hearing, or do we stay here and then go in December? Our neighbors that we love dearly, they go to Florida on January 1st. I don't know how they make it that long. I mean, it's cold. Georgia's cold. She has no thyroid. I'm cold. I have a thyroid.
Yeah.
So it's cold already. Neither of us have been here this late in the winter for a handful of years now, and
I mean, it has been in end of 21, beginning of 20.
Such a clown. Like I said, it blows my mind, some of the stuff that I've been hearing them say lately, though, that, you have 2L. Again, you think about the absolute explosion this stuff would cause. So like what they've been trying to say. They want to sit down with police and to attract involvement, while, of course, they ignore LP's claims with money and other stuff. So selectively, it already looks like they've got tunnel vision for Jeremy Hales, right? I mean, very much, because they're ignoring all of that money, all of the claims with that. So far, according to LP, they're ignoring that stuff. Now, they end up taking a bite of that proverbial apple, though. It'll look real bad when you start talking about the people that they've been engaging with, that admittedly that are brought into this stuff. I mean, my God. So they decide as part of that, they're going to join in with this group of clowns that includes people like Paint Chips. Holy crap, man. You want to talk about it. Hey, like I kind of want them to note that they've been actively engaging with all these crazies, that they've been setting down, because we already know, we've been told by 2L herself that they've been there in person, because they were bragging about when we got the FOIA requests that they had all of that. They had all of that stuff off the record. So it would be really interesting to see them throw in with some of these people. Holy shit, man!
We stayed for the season, because that's when we got Hale's
Well,
headquarters.
we were moving. We were literally moving into Hale's headquarters.
We started looking for property in end of 21, and so because of Lynette moving to Otter Creek across the street from us, we're like, what in the world? Why?
Listen, we don't need a 6,000 square foot house. It's more house than we did not buy this
more to furnish.
We did not buy Hale's headquarters for the home. We didn't. We bought it for the security of the property.
Correct.
Nobody can ever build or be around us and stalk us again. That's why we bought it. We're surrounded by a national park. That property can never be sold. It can never be built on. And so that is the biggest blessing in the world. And the only reason we would have never done it unless it was for what's happened to us by Lynette and Crook. So December 5th, 9 a.m. And that is the new evidentiary hearing.
Yeah, so it's a Friday.
And the judge states that she will take into consideration the motion for Zoom. I do not think, this is just my thought process after today's shenanigans again, that she will grant their motion for Zoom. This is a status hearing, and they were off the rails already for a status hearing. And so it could go either which way. It literally, she put in the last document for the evidentiary hearing that they could file a motion for Zoom, which they obviously did, and that was granted for today. So it's going to be a toughie whether she's going to give them grant that option, especially after everything that happened again today. And my lawyer literally going, listen, this is going to keep happening, and we have an all day scheduled hearing on December 5th. Like, having these two on Zoom, not going to be okay. And so I don't know. It's kind of 50-50. I have an inclination that she does not want them to appear on Zoom because of all this ridiculousness. But we'll see.
It's 50-50, to be honest. I think
we are 100%. They must be in person, and frankly, they can be arrested in person immediately in court. And so the judge states that she's going to take that under consideration. And then Lynette and Crook start going off that they were never served. They were never even served for this today. And so they're going, we were never served. We're only here, the whole YouTube vomit thing. And the judge
So wait a minute, I just thought of something. If they were never served, you got a copy of it, right? Even though you have representation?
I didn't get a copy because my lawyer has it.
Okay, so that makes sense why they didn't get served. Because their previous attorney who was covering for them, Smartt, got it.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure.
And then
because
never
I
gave
don't
it
have
to
it.
them.
I don't even have it. So what they saw from
I'm sure that's how that's how it had to go. It had to go with counsel. Again, like I said, Sean has been ultra professional about things. He never brought this stuff up. Again, you can think anything you want about in court, but like I said with him, he was given a loser of a case, a loser of it. And these people just don't stop. Like, they don't shut up. I cannot imagine, even in one of 2L's things, I think it was Saturday, they talked about how badly it would go to be like counsel. They were talking about Bruce, and they were saying, well, we kept telling her to shut up, and we couldn't believe that Bruce, he wouldn't stop her. He wouldn't stop her from saying this or that. And it was just like, wow, if you were counsel in this situation, again, whether or not the whole idea, you have to look at it too. Everybody, first of all, deserves representation. They do. You're entitled to it. You are absolutely, whether you think they're 100% guilty, but if they're entitled to representation. So when they go out, you can imagine though, being that lawyer and looking at what they had there and what they kept doing, because the judge is like, don't keep violating, don't keep doing this stuff. And then you got Bruce, who, after we saw the leaked email, again, we saw this stuff. It was leaked by Bruce to Volpe into a paper. We see letters from Sean being like, dude, I eat here. This is where I make a living here. He's telling, don't do what you're doing, man. This isn't good. It's not good for your clients. It's not good for a case. And it's not good for me. So, of course, what does Bruce do? He leaks it and talks shit forever. And he's talked about trying to sue them. He has gotten it into LP's head, I'm sure, that she can sue him, that she can sue, what's his face, Silverman. That just, it blows my mind sometimes. It does. It blows my mind. Everybody apparently is terrible except for Bruce. Bruce was the greatest lawyer ever. Now again, I'm waiting because they're going to keep picking that fight. And they don't want that fight. They think, see, there are people out there. I don't know how much, some of you all, I don't know how much you've been around online, but there are sectors of the internet where they call where people throw down, and you hear like Dave talk about the quote unquote commentary community, right? When he used to bring up what he did. Well, that stuff gets vicious. Beyond that, though, there's a little sector people oftentimes refer to as blood sports, where people throw down online. And that's not an arena these people are prepared for. They think they are. But my God, again, if people saw what they do with AI, where they put out images of themselves, trying to put them out in this flattering light, like they're supermodels and, like they're built, the physique and everything. If they thought that what Megan said or what, Jay, where Jay was just like, here's the real pictures of these folks that they've shown. If they thought that was me, my God. And again, there are channels out there they're not ready to take the heat from. And I mean, Sean held his own online. Very well can. So I've been waiting for BBB to overstep his boundaries, because it would be very entertaining. I really want to see that, because Paint Chips thinks he's all this too, because he's used to dealing with normies. He's used to dealing with people that they don't have a lot of interaction with online, or they're easily intimidating. He's not accustomed to dealing with like people that they take what he says. They'll chew it up and spit it out. That's the best they can do. God, he will roll. I mean, these people will roll over them. Oh, I hope that happens. I do. Because sooner or later, they're going to push too far. They are. And when that day comes, ooh, baby. They do it to everybody, too. They keep bringing him up with that. I saw him mentioned in the 2L show from, I can't remember which day, but I saw Ohio mentioned again. Sean, they don't bring him up as with his name, but they bring him up as the quote unquote Ohio attorney. And my God, dude.
Vomit. I don't even have it. My lawyer has it. And then he told me, hey, we have a hearing at this day and time. That's all I have. So
their attorney on record last was Sean Martin, which means he received a copy and he leaked it to somebody.
Well, I don't think he would have given it to Deuce, because he doesn't like Deuce. And frankly, anybody?
He may have. We don't know that.
Lisa can't even get along with Deuce. He may have
passed it on to Deuce and be like, here's the information. Do what you want with it.
I'm pretty sure he gave it to Lynette and Crook, and Lynette and Crook gave it to Vomit. That would be my best guess. And we're going to get to the bottom of it in court, December 5th, 9 a.m. And so she starts to ask everybody about scheduling. Does this work for everybody? December 5th, 9 a.m. And so she states, and she's not talking to us or our lawyer, she's talking to Lynette and Crook, says that there will be a scheduling deadline with witnesses, and if they don't meet that deadline to schedule their witnesses, no witnesses will be able to testify on their behalf.
Correct.
Which, please God, let them
meet the
deadline with Beecham. Please, we want this on record for our court case in Florida. Yes. Please let Beecham be there. Oh, please, God, please.
This would be a great Christmas gift.
This
would be an amazing Christmas gift, to be honest.
So I have a gut feeling that they'll never make the deadline in the first place, but man, do I ever want them to. Please.
Well, the question is, will Beecham even show up, or is he just blowing smoke up their rears to get them to shut up? Yeah, to get them to stop calling him 8 times a day.
I don't know, but man, do I ever want Beecham there. Oh, do I want Beecham there.
We do welcome him being there.
Yes. So then the judge goes on to emphasize yet again that she's talking about the scheduling of witnesses in the orders. Yet again, do you realize that these civil protection orders are in full effect?
Yes.
Full force, full effect.
They remain in full force until December 5th.
And she goes, well, to December 5th and a decision after December 5th. But yeah, she stresses this is in full effect.
Yeah.
To December 5th, and then the order after December 5th will deal with it. And
so again, like we talked about before, when you're having hearings over this, the docket, for whatever reason, whether the docket's clogged, whether something comes up, there can be everything from human error to again, just the docket, court, anything can happen. But when you have all of this stuff going on, they kept celebrating. They made, in fact, they should go back. Well, one of the things, I'm sure Hales have pulled this up, but they had a celebration on 2L's channel when the protective order ended. They celebrated it down to the minute. They were talking about, because they thought that it had ended at a certain time. So they celebrated that as some kind of milestone, where when you think about what are they doing with it, they're not celebrating LP. Remember, they aren't pro Lynette Preston. They've made that very, very clear. They are anti-Jeremy Hales. So they're hoping that in some way that they can utilize that to harm Jeremy Hales. I mean, that is their only position online anymore. By the way, every now and then, I want to know this. Every now and then, I'll talk to Jay for a minute. Jay's funny. He's such a nut, man. He is. He's an absolute nut. But every now and then I'll talk to him because, first of all, I think Jay's show is funny. Jay's quirky humor and everything is pretty entertaining, and I absolutely like watching his flea caps. I think they're hilarious. But one thing that I thought was really funny that I noticed the other day is he when he was going to do a flea cap, these idiots over there the other night, they managed what they thought was a pretty good night. They managed 10 super chats. Now, they talk about Jay and how he's an idiot and all of this. Oh, by the way, let me note this too. I guess Jay, he's going to be sued too. You know why? Because according to Paint Chips, he took down Hale's empire when he reached out to Vomits. Oh my God, that still amuses me. Oh God. What idiots. But Jay pulls in 3 times that, and they keep talking about how useless Jay is and all of this. And I thought that was absolutely hilarious because he pulls in 3 times what they managed recapping their shitty ass show. You got to admit that is pretty funny stuff.
Goes to Lynette. Do you understand? Yes. Crook. Do you understand? Yes.
Well, what she's asking them is that means no contact.
By the way, too, just to make this clear, I actually think with Megan, I heard this weird rumor. We'll ask Megan about it tomorrow. But I heard that after the wedding she was at, that she might have been having meetings with I can't remember the person's name. Maybe it was one of her ex-best friends. And I heard tell that maybe, and again, they can correct me if I'm wrong, but he might have been kicked out of Burlington Goat Factory, where I think he used to live. I think he used to live between racks and maybe live stream there. Not really sure. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe they found a men's warehouse to meet up at. I'm not really sure. I always imagined him and Paint Chips like them live streaming from between racks and clothing at the Burlington Goat Factory. Oh my God. I'm going to give her a hard time about it. That's what we need to, everybody should ask her, by the way. Hey, we heard that you were having a meeting with like your ex-best friend. Oh my God. That'll be really funny.
And she stresses that. She stressed third-party contact. I mean, she's got so much evidence already that we had in the last meeting that is, and then so much more. She has everything from she's got a little bit from Vomit, the interview, and then she's got Fleesta. She's got Dude.
That interview's huge, by the way.
Oh my goodness, she has so much. I don't even know. Like
that interview is huge because during that interview, remember they noted that they knew they shouldn't be doing this. Like. John Cook notes in there that the judge would not like that and they shouldn't be doing it. So that they mentioned that they themselves thought it was a violation, but they did it anyway. That's not good. Like when they get to that part and it's brought up, it's mind-boggling. Plus they bring up the past violations again. One of the things, it's a damn shame that their prior lawyer is professional to the point, because I would love to sit down and be like, so what do you think about these idiots that are still bringing? They brought up the violations again. They were found guilty of it. Whether they think it's right or not, they were found in violation. So instead of doing the right thing and pretending that doesn't exist anymore, except as a deterrent, like don't do things like that, instead of doing it, what do? They talk about how wrong it was and unfair it was and how they should be able to do this or that. So they're essentially just spitting in the face of the judge. Oh my God. It's like a comedy routine that won't stop.
I sit there with my lawyer and I go, how do you give thousands and thousands and thousands of attempts at court to the court and schedule it? I mean, at what point do you go, look, here's 5 and there's 500 more from Fleesa. Here's 5 and there's 500 more from Deuce. Here's 5 and there's 500 more from Vomit. Here's 5 and there's 500 more from Luthman, from Paint Chips. Here's 5 and then there's 500 more from Stupid Lane. Here's 5 and then there, you know. So it's going to be a very, and that's what the plan is currently, to say, listen, there's more, but you know, we can submit it, but we don't need to go over every bit of evidence.
You know, Bowman will be fun too, because he was told by the police themselves not to make contact, and he brags about it. How, you know, that he doesn't care. He brags about it. And you know, when authorities tell you to stop doing something, the typical person, they back off, right? And their argument is, we're investigating. What the fuck are you investigating? You're not actually asking or doing anything. I mean, you mail this guy. It's amazing, because the amount of emails that they've sent to myself, it's absurd. Although lately I noticed that they must be on a sad panda trip, you know, after everything that happened. And all the stuff that they were sending to Hales, when you heard about it, I was like, my God, you know, they would include him on some of the most insane stuff. I couldn't believe, man.
Evidence. It's the same. How many times can you show Jeremy's truck driving by and posting online my comings and goings, which is third party harassment?
No, they got a third party to go in, and they paid for cameras, a third party on that property, so they could just watch him no matter what he did. They wanted to watch him, to post it to the world. They wanted to do all this crazy stuff, you know. And what's amazing is that's the story that they've been feeding to Levy County. That he's doing this all the time, but they absolutely did it. They talked about it. They bragged about it online. It was wild to hear. That's why I always wonder again if they picked up other things with their camera. Were they watching LP and Cook at the same time? Because these people weren't her friends. She finds out, you know, they were people that were making money off of her. But anyway, let's continue.
George, our employees, and it goes on and on. So here's the funny part. Now, remember when we had the 4 cases, bundling them into one, and who opposed that? Objected.
They did.
Okay, Lynette and Crook completely and totally object. Right? You guys all remember that. Adamantly, they object. We object. Lynette then states, can the courts just put us as one?
She said, Your Honor, John and I, we live together.
We own property together. We're always together. We're never apart. She literally says these things. We're never apart. Can the courts just put us together? The court just asked her, do they want everything into one or 4 separate? And now Lynette's saying, can you put us together?
I think what she was trying to say is she wanted the court's permission for them both to be in the same room, but you can't because of witness. They're both witnesses.
Well, then
you have to separate them as witnesses.
Crook stops her and he goes, somebody's got to watch a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting there going,
But he threw in the word disabled, a 6-year-old disabled child. Disabled.
And at the end, she gives everybody the opportunity to say something, minus George and myself, because obviously our lawyer speaks for us.
Correct.
And so any wise person would be doing that.
Right.
Wisdom is not at the top of these two's list.
So
Lynette and Crook.
Really quick before you go over their last sayings before the conference hearing was ended, when Jeremy and I go to court, I'm in the waiting room. I'm not allowed to be.
Yeah, she's not even allowed
because I'm a witness, and that's just part of the court procedure. I have to wait in a waiting room until I'm called as a witness. Once I'm called in a witness, then Jeremy and I can be in the same room.
Yeah.
So only to the point where she's called in as a witness. After she testifies, then she can stay for the rest of the hearing.
Correct.
Because the beginning of the hearing could taint her testimony. You guys get that, right? And by the way, there will be no visitors allowed. This is a closed courtroom. So no extra people can, I mean, you could sit outside the courtroom. I mean, if kind of boring, but nobody's allowed into these because these are civil protection orders.
So even if there was a witness that appeared via Zoom, they're not allowed to be brought onto the Zoom meeting until they're called in as a witness.
Which is why the judge said there will be a very specific witness scheduling, and if you don't get it submitted, they will not be testifying.
Correct.
Because you have to have that witness. Let's say Beecham comes at 1 o'clock. Beecham is not allowed to be there at 9 a.m. up to 1 o'clock. He is only allowed to be in there at 1 o'clock, and then Lynette will ask him questions, and then he'll be cross-examined. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. So, closing comments, the judge gives them an opportunity, and Crook goes, listen, we're indigent. We have always complied to Zoom. We are in complete compliance. That's a direct quote.
He was objecting to the Ohio appearance.
We're in complete compliance, as they constantly were not in compliance of Zoom today. Oh my goodness.
And then he goes on to say that they're indigent and they can't afford to just pick up a disabled child and travel to Ohio.
Well, I thought that's why they got that new camper. They literally just got a new camper. If you're so indigent, how'd you get a new camper? Which, you know what, we'll be talking about that tomorrow with the trustee. And
why would they get a vacant land that was a previous dumping ground to build a new house? A brand new house from the ground up.
So, all in all, I laughed. I was frustrated. And I don't want to stay in Ohio till December 5th, but if
we just gotta layer up, baby. We got
that, or we go to Florida and then we fly back. So I'll do the same thing that the judge did with Crook and Lynette. Any closing comments, George?
Well, we said no. Our attorney said no, and then they said no. But they.
By the way, at the end of this, I have the funniest thing in the world to tell you. The funniest thing I want to show you. Okay. You have to see this. Yeah, just to cover it. I've got, oh my God, I got to show you that.
They couldn't figure out how to leave the meeting and to end it.
So we wait till the end, because last time federal court, Crook started calling the federal judge all kinds of nasty names. So we waited to the very end to leave so that
say what stupidity would come out of their face.
And of course, you know what we saw again.
I don't know how to do this. I can't figure this out. I can't figure out how to end it.
At least we didn't have to look in her ear this time. So that was kind of a bonus.
That was refreshing.
So I guess stay tuned.
So that means they're showing up pro se.
Pro se on December 5th, 9 a.m. Full day evidentiary hearing.
Man, that's going to be crazy.
Everybody will be in person.
Wait. Where's the 1,300 that Deuce raised for them for the Ohio courts, though?
That's true. That's actually a great question. That is a great question. What happened to that money? Because they raised money there, and Lisa tossed him under the bus for it.
A lawyer.
Wait. Where's the Ohio lawyer?
Yeah.
You're a coward. I would have told you any day. Aren't you supposed to be?
I mean, all this stuff. So when you think about it, again, they were supposed to have a lawyer. They were promised, again, whether you like them, you don't like them, whatever. They raised money. They pulled over $1,000, and it's so bizarre. It's so bizarre because they took up money and they know it. They absolutely know it happened. So I've got something funny for you. I've got to show you. All right. Now you need to be sitting down when I note this, because you're probably going to start laughing, because I know I will. So last night they were talking about how we're all going to ruin Christmas, because they're such good people. And they're trying to bring fun and festivities to everyone out there, right? We're all monsters, apparently. Well, while they were talking about Christmas, they were talking about like who could be what and all this stuff. And they got to this point where they were discussing who could play Santa Claus. Now, in the ecosystem, the first thing I thought was, stupid Dave, right? If you're going to pick out a Santa Claus, he would be my first pick. There would be certain people I wouldn't pick too, right? So 2L decided not only are they saying that we're trying to ruin their Christmas stuff, but Richard, Paint Chips, he could be their Santa Claus. I kid you not. Holy God, why? Why would you? Look at this. It's so crazy. I've never... Oh, that makes sense. We'll get the guy who's spent all the time in prison. That'll go over real well with everybody. I'm not even kidding. It's... Oh my God, look at this. Oh my God, it's real too. You can see it right there. Like here at the bottom, they're complaining. They're trying to ruin Christmas, guys. Oh, they're trying to ruin it. You know what? They're trying to commit torches, like a hand torch, torches interference. Good. And oh Lord, I'm gonna die. Oh, that's too much. But look, they're here too. They're like, yeah, you know, Jeremy was literally asking people to tell him where's the event. So he could show up with cameras so he could tell parents. And in fact, Richard was going to be Santa Claus. Santa Claus is literally trying to come and ruin the event because we were telling Richard he could be Santa Claus. Oh my God. Oh yeah, that'll go over real well. You should do that. That's a great plan. That's a great plan. I'm sure you should advertise it. Use one of his mugshots. Holy shit. Dude allegedly threatens some heinous stuff with regard to his ex-wife. And you know, little pieces. But hey, Santa Claus. Oh my God. Maybe if a kid makes him mad, he'll put up an adult themed picture of them too. Weirdo. Oh my God. This is their Santa though. I'm not even kidding you. I mean, that is wiped out. Yeah, exactly. You know, like Lorraine knows. She's like, as a parent, I'd freak out if I found out my little girl was sitting on page. Exactly, dude. I mean, these people, again, they're complaining that other people are they're trying to ruin our event. Dude, they're talking about they're talking about a Santa that might be wearing a jumpsuit. Oh my God. It's torches interference. I was listening to them say that. I was like, is that how it said? It did. It sounded like they were trying to say torches, like fire. Torches interference. Yeah, you hear me? General interference. It's torches. Oh my God. They're pissed because they've tried to rebrand their Christmas thing again after all the advertisement with HG. They put out that, I'm sure too, they made promises. They made promises that this year that kid would be getting stuff. They would have a great, majestic Christmas. And then they have just yanked that out. They have collected money through the majority of this year for that girl in her name. Now they've decided, nope, we're going to rebrand. Even though we raised money with this kid's name, we're going to take the kid's name off of it. We're going to rebrand and we're going to do whatever. And there's no public transparency, but they're going to sue other people because we're ruining their reputation. But they're talking about, oh my God, I can't wait. Yeah, you sue people over that. You know, this would be a great quote there. You know, you were going to use the the paint chips model as your Santa, but other people were causing you problems. You've got to be kidding me. That is the best thing I've ever heard. It's a good plan. It's a very good plan. I agree. They should do it. Oh my God. I got to mark that. LOL. Santa. Oh my God. I'm making a mark for this. Oh, it's so good. Oh my God. All right. You know what's really funny today too? We are now at, let me see. Let me check something real quick before I give a right number. We are only 8 super chats away from old 50, and I love it. I saw them whining about they really try to make it look like they're not upset because people aren't backing them anymore, but they were whining about this stuff the other day, and they were trying to do it in a way that kind of shamed their audience into backing them financially. And I thought that's so funny because you're not getting people for 6 hours. I can imagine, first of all, sitting online for 6 hours and having nothing to say. Nothing. Like all they're doing is ranting and yelling expletives. Some of the stuff that they said. I mean, they lost it last night. It was a mighty entertaining thing. I will say that will be so I think I have seen 4 of their shows. That was one of them. It was such a shit show last night that I put it on 2 speed and listened to the entirety of the shit show. Oh, it was so good. Oh. Oh my God, no. But it's so weird because they talked about they've brought paint chips to the front and center of it, and they don't understand. Like a lot of the blowback that people have is because of some of these folks, Absolutely. They absolutely have that. Oh my God. It is so bizarre though. It's so weird. What? They were also, again, they keep trying to, they were talking about, so last night also, so this is weird too. So you remember the whole thing with the record for 2L's man, right? Remember how they said it was all a lie and everything else? That didn't exist. You remember that? Now, last night they were like, well, my record, it's on the internet or whatever, but my shit's not secret. I didn't close it off. And it's like, wait a minute, so it exists now? I thought that was all a lie. Because they sat around forever and they told people, including Lynette Preston. I always wondered with Lynette Preston, I always wondered if she would have had more concern if she truly looked into who she was dealing with. And again, that's on her too. But she has people around her, including her lawyer, that's absolutely utilizing these folks, absolutely down with having them fundraise and more. So of course she has to, she feels comfortable, like all of her money's going to be good to go. She has no idea who she's dealing with. It kind of blows my mind here. I mean, they were also saying last night too, somebody asked them, it's so weird. They asked them if they would give them an autograph. And you know what their response was? They would sell them their autograph. They would sell it to them. I thought, them? You're not big enough to do that. I mean, really? For myself, somebody had mentioned like mailing something and they would give them return, like a return envelope. Man, if somebody did that, I've had that happen before, and I'm happy to do that. I'm like, my signature's not worth anything for me, but it's so bizarre for them. They think they are absolute stars. $25 a signature. Crazy, isn't it? Let's go through this. Here we go. Fallen Hero kicked it off there. Thank you for the gifted membership, by the way, Fallen Hero. And thank you again, as always, my friend, for real. Appreciate you very much. Thank you. Debbie, what's up, Debbie? How you doing, Debbie? Drop 5 gifted memberships. I love this at the beginning, too. You're telling people, hey, you all are welcome here. So it helps out the channel and it sends that out. Emmy, by the way, did that as well. Emmy dropped 10 gifted memberships too. I appreciate that. Oh, by the way, check this out. Let me see if I can do it. So it's so weird. Let me see something. No, it still doesn't work. I still cannot give. So they turned on. So this is crazy. All right. So my gifting, they told me that my ability to gift memberships would be on. Okay. So I had a little thing pop up. It's called membership gifting. I was like, cool. I haven't looked at it yet. Right. But when I click on it, it tells me that I have to buy membership because I'm supposed to be able to give away so many a month. Like Megan has said she can. I can't give them away. It doesn't have any for the giveaway part. It just has it just like if I were becoming a member, which who knows what the hell that would do on my own channel, what kind of mess that causes. But I have a little thing that popped up. It says membership gifting. And when I click on it, it redirects me to memberships just like you guys have. Crap. I was hoping it would let me gift today because they told me they had fixed something, but it doesn't fix it. Well, I'm gonna if they ever get that fixed, I'm absolutely going to give away memberships with that. I thought they'd fixed it for me. They told me, yeah, we got this turned on. And they didn't. Oh my God, what idiots. Lovely. Anyway, let's continue there. But I love it. Emmy, thank you for the gifted memberships. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate you. I can't say that enough. You, Debbie, Fallen Hero, all of you at the beginning there. You set this pace for people. You're like, hey, you're invited here. Welcome to the show. And that's awesome. Thank you. Donna, thank you for the 18 months. Wanted to share my good news with everyone. Got my biopsy results today. Mass is removed 2 weeks ago. Benign. Oh, thank you. That's great. Thank you all for the prayers. Well, that is great news. Let's everybody out there give a round of love and appreciation. Pop that L, pop a L in the chat. Not for anything, but for love, because she needs some love there, for sure. So Donna, appreciate you. I am glad that stuff for sure. It came back. It came back benign. People there with you. Prayers to you and celebration. Man, I love it. I love good news. We don't get enough of it. So always love it. Emmy, thanks for the 9 months. 9 months, baby. Back to the living. Been sick. Well, I am glad to see you here, and I'm glad you're feeling better. Because you know what? It is such a shame, a chore being sick. I get it. I've been down. I think it probably shows sometimes when I'm like, oh my God, and I get going with the show. But gosh, the last few days I've been. But I mean, it's finally passing. So I hear you there. Hey, Max Lab too. Thanks for the tune. Not feeling my best. Dude, love to you, brother. You take care of yourself. Okay. Get well, get better. I get it. You still, even not feeling good, Max still was like, hey, documents, here they are. So prop to you, brother. You can get you some rest, man. Rest, rehab, need you around, son, and always appreciate you. Blake, 5 months. Thank you there. Good evening for Tug. Megalodon. Who is that person again? No, I'm just playing. To Megan in chat. Yeah. Like I said, I think she's hanging out with her ex-best friend. She's not here to dispute it. Oh, my God. 1 second. We'll have to ask her. I'm telling you. When we see her, we're going to be like, by the way, were you having secret meetings with your ex-best friend? Were you making up? I'm telling you, we'll have to ask her. Colleen, thanks for the 5. They'll respond by date. And I'm glad you asked that because, again, that was a good question. But that was when the original date for service that had been put on there. So, again, it's just copy paste with everything. And it also noted too, changes to this order, if they had to have changes, which I don't think they do, but if they did, they'd also there'd be more pricing. So they would ask for more money. And we'll see what Belitho says with that. Matt Hatter, thanks for the 5 there. What I mean, tease it. Now I'm actually praying for a lawsuit for your Megalodonus to see obliterating takedown fatality. I'm telling you. Like I said, if BBB tries to launch a lawsuit coming from LPJCHG comes at me, I'm telling you, I'm going to drop an absolute fucking nuke. And I will, it will be just everything. And you will be like, oh my God, Tuck. Oh my God. So if he again, he kept saying that they were going to do that. I have a secret weapon. Very much so. And if I ever have to use it, holy God. Like I said, you all will be there and you'll be like, oh my God. It will be, I promise you, it will be the most entertaining thing you have ever seen. I swear to you, and I have to be vague about it for right now, but I swear to you, it will be the most entertaining thing you have ever seen. I will just decimate a lawsuit rolled out because of those people. Well, it'll be like from go, one hit, poof, just blow it away. So you watch. I promise you, it will be the most entertaining thing you have ever seen. That is not false fucking hype or anything else. I tell you, I have secured a nuclear bomb. And if they come for me, it will be. It's one that it wipes out lawsuits. It'll be the most amazing thing you have ever seen if he tries to launch it from that direction. He keeps saying, there are all kinds of things that they've promised, this and that. And it's so crazy. It's like, handle your business out there. Maybe the Bruce stuff is crazy stuff. Like they were talking about that too. They were trying to say that in some way, that Bruce reaching out to the court, by the way, that was somehow okay. Where Bruce did that because what was it they said? Give me a minute. I need to find this. It was so bizarre. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you really you trying to go with that? But they tried to say, so she said, check this out. This really got me laughing too. Oh my God. I'm going to show you some more funny stuff real quick. I'm not even prepped for this, but God, you'll find it funny. So she put in there, they're bringing up Bruce now. There's like, oh, Bruce, here we go. Oh, he's practicing. I'm practicing law here in Florida. Why? Because I'm talking to someone who I consider a friend who's part of the same lawsuit. That's just me. And by the way, she starts going into it. By the way, they think that Bruce is the only lawyer I've spoken to. Well, I have lawyers in my family. Oh my gosh. And none of them were like, you're an idiot. I have lawyers in my family. He's making fun of the fact that I'm not bringing my lawyer, my family lawyer. Oh my God. Why would you bring your family lawyer into this FNBS? Oh, what a clown. What a fucking clown. Oh my God. That is so good. They were also trying to cover up the whole Bruce thing, you know, saying they never threw Bruce under the bus, by the way. that never happened. They were just, you know, mad because as far as things go, they've had to deal with all of the stuff that's happening now. He's not been available. And, you know, this is actually what they say. Look. So they throw him under the bus while saying they're not throwing him under the bus. They do it again. It's kind of crazy. Like he brings up Bruce. Oh, I didn't do that. You know, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know, what I did say, the fact of the matter is that Bruce should have been available. You know, he should be. He should have been available. But he said that Jeremy, that we're not going to get sued. And there's people like they're getting sued. Lawyers. You know? And Bruce and I, we've been talking for over a year in regards to this entire saga. So Bruce, she called him out yet again, saying that he's not been there for her. After what she's saying to people is that this clown got me sued when he told me that I wouldn't be sued. That's what she's saying. Now she's trying to say that. She's saying it while saying that I'm not throwing him under the bus. But holy God, she starts throwing him under, you know, again, the bus with the ecosystem thing. She's like, I didn't originate that. That's actually, that originally it all came from Bruce. Oh man, it's Bruce's ecosystem. Bruce's ecosystem. So the what the hales media ecosystem is Bruce's ecosystem, not mine. Don't sue me for that. Sue him. But remember, it's just amazing, isn't it? Oh, they were whining too. They were like, "Oh my God, he's calling Rigid Fatty." You know, he was like, "Oh, he was calling Richard a coward because he hasn't filed it." No, Richard said that he was going to. He kept threatening him with armed conflict, and Jeremy said, "Bring it." You know, then fine, we'd be down with that. Well, that hasn't. It's because, you know, that's not legal, by the way. You can't go out but he likes to try to challenge people to that. And when somebody says, "Yeah, I noticed like there hasn't been a taker for it," it's weird. Hey, Terry, by the way, thanks for 5. Felice said she was going to use the money this Christmas 2025. Yeah, you know, it's money for, that's the thing. Thank you, Terry, by the way. But that money is for, that raised one specific person. So they shouldn't be using it for anything but that little girl. That little girl, again, they raised it for her. So to somehow try to exclude HG by changing up the name or doing whatever, that's some nasty BS. That is. They used that little girl's name. They used her likeness, her photo. They put it all over the fucking internet. They put themselves on with it. So gross. Oh, kills me. Hale, thanks for the 2. The chicken turkey skin grift. That's what it is. They're going to be like, you know what? We're going to be able to get all the turkey skins we want this year, baby. Turkey skin is here. Oh my God. Oh, gross. Jack, thanks for the 2. Time to fry the flea bag in corn. Yeah, well, she was like, "Oh, by the way, this is beautiful too." While ranting about money and everything else, she was saying that there is no way to connect her accounts to Michelle Preston. So, he would have to connect that, and there would be no way to do it. And I'm like, "You have to be kidding me, you idiot. You've been sitting here for all this time. You admit to all this money." It absolutely, you have Michelle Preston's money. So to pretend that doesn't exist, it blows my mind, It does. It absolutely blows my mind. These people, they're so nuts, though. And also, it's funny too. They talk about Germany. Again, every story, everything else, it's about Hale. Everything ends up about Hale. It's amazing to me. It is absolutely amazing to me. Oh. And Joe, thanks for the 20 Doug's giggles of the bed. I got rolling with those earlier. Oh, sometimes I can't help it. They're so funny. Thank you too. Pickled Tink, thank you for the two there. Jeremy and his Miami Vice look. Indeed. I could hear it there. Iris, that was who I was trying to think of. Iris. Sorry, I apologize. When the little ones down here earlier, you were who I was trying to think of. I knew I saw somebody with a birthday come up, and I couldn't see it right off the bat. I'm going to give you a birthday song too. But the little one, we were singing to you, and I can't remember who else now. My spot your memory, dude. Let's bust.
Happy birthday!
Hey, what's up,
From both of us to you. Happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We love to have you here. Happy birthday. Here's to another year.
Happy birthday to you. Love to you too. Appreciate you. Happy 56. That's awesome. Cindy, thanks for the mob. Evening, all. Please post to help the algorithm. That's right. All you lurkers out there, that's it for sure. If you sound off, help the algorithm, that is always good. Put the live stream out to new people. Indeed. And thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate you. Razilla, thanks for the two. Well, Tug, you can get a job as Santa Claus. Apparently, it's all taken. I don't need to now. Apparently, there's already a Santa Claus out there. Perfect. Oh, man, Saggy, thanks for the two. Got that hair dye account. Oh, man. Yeah, that's right, baby. Maybe I can keep that going for a while. Actually, I've never, as gray hair comes in, I don't care. Honestly, all jokes aside, I just always thought it was funny with my granddad. Again, I was like, because my granddad had a great head of hair, and I thought it was naturally colored. It's like, well, that one wasn't real. Diana, thanks for the 5. Now, get your email today. You probably already have the info sent just in case. It's fun. Hey, will you do me a favor? Will you bump it up to just say, you could put one word, like forward it to me, and that way I'll make sure, because I can't remember exactly. I'm sure I did see it because I don't have any unread, but I want to know what it's in reference to now. My curiosity. I can't remember which. I got so many today. I was catching up a bunch, dude. Victor, thanks for the 5 there. Was 3 months premature with a full head of hair. That's wild. My family says it might go gray, but it doesn't go away. Indeed. I hear you. That's the way I've been very lucky in that as well too, because I've managed to at least keep it around. Not that there's anything wrong if you start losing it, but man, it's just not something I have to worry about. I've been able to keep it, and it keeps growing. So fun times. Wanda, thank you for the 14 months. And you are who I was thinking about, Wanda. It is your birthday. Let me give you some birthday love too. You were exactly. And again, Iris, Wanda, yeah, little one and I were singing you happy birthday too. Let's bust.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Heck yeah!
From both of us to you. Happy birthday! May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday!
Heck yeah!
We love
to have
you here.
Happy birthday, BOMBSHELL.
Here's to another year.
Healthy good years. Love to you, Wanda. Thank you. The Floofy again. You can tell how much the little one likes the Floofy cat. I was like, the Floofy, no, the Floofy cat. So the Floofy, so she loves that name, man. And that avatar. She just loves it. Niece, thank you again. I appreciate you. I noted it before, but I want to note it again. Thank you. Cynic, thank you as well, my friend. Appreciate you. Kathy, thanks for the 10. No one Aunt to get any money. She's pure evil. She's gotten what she deserved. It's karma. Well, it's the thing, like, in this, the money, of course, with that, I think it's a matter of right and wrong with it. Because these people, I look at it and I think, ha ha ha, because these people, why would you trust them? At the same time, there were people that wanted to legitimately help that little kid. And they wanted to help build something. And they gave money, not for LP, not for JC, but to help that child. Instead, it has ended up in the hands of somebody that has held on to it and has talked about weaponizing it, which is just crazy. She has flat out made the statement that if she were ever sued, she would take that money and utilize it to get a lawyer, which is nuts. I, for one, don't believe the money still exists. But even to say that, to make that threat, it's just wild. Again, I have to ask, for people that supposedly are there serving Lynette's best interest, why the fuck, Bruce? Where are you, man? Why aren't you stepping up? Why aren't you saying something? Because that disgusts me. Why are you not helping put that money where it is supposed to be? It just blows my mind, man. Fallen Hero, thank you too for candy. Thank you, appreciate it. The little one didn't get back. I guess she just tired out, and she, little kids, they run until they just fall out. So I guess she had her fall out. She brought my phone back. It was at 3%. Told me to charge it. They're like, hey, that way tomorrow. She wants a little, screen time at the end of the day. And if she's good and does everything, I let her play like a little Pac-Man or something like that. Like a little app on there for you. And I guess after that, she passed out. And my favorite things to I have a girl. I gave girls beads and Hello Kitty charms. We got beads. Maybe let me check maybe I've got to go over again. I still have not gotten over to the P.O. box. What's wild, by the way, I need to make sure, because what's wild is the P.O. box. We have this, it's so small around here that sometimes, like the lobby to pick up stuff, it's not open. It's the wildest thing. You would think it'd be open all the time, but when you get into a little place, not always. They deliver the mail, but as far as the lobby, sometimes you can't get your stuff. So I need to go over there. The last time I drove by, they weren't open. But I'll check them tomorrow to make absolutely sure. We got some beads, but I want to make sure, because I don't know if I saw Hello Kitty beads. The little one now. I have to make sure, because the little one, or not the little one, but the oldest, she takes off with beads. She's like, "Yep, those are mine," and takes off with them. And they make crafts and stuff with them. It's so funny, but they run off with it so fast. The Floofy, thanks for the 5 there. The Floofs knows about crazy life, but are glad the littles are getting joy to balance the crazy. Yes, for sure. Pleased that they know love and friendship exists. Indeed. indeed. I think that's an important balance. And I try to keep, I'm very jaded too. If you're around for so long, it's hard not to become jaded. And it's always good to see people and their positive reactions, when the little ones are around. That positive, it's kind of heartwarming, to see people positively react. It's like maybe the internet isn't as good. It is crazy, but there's redemption in there too, and good people too. Becky, thank you for the 9 months, baby. It's amazing what they try to get away with. Yes, that is indeed true, Becky. You're 100% there. Terry, thanks for the vibe. One says she can't wait to get in front of an Ohio judge so she can tell her all of her proof. A judge would tell F1 to sit down. Yeah, they have this idea that they can just come in. They can. It's kind of like, in school, you can wheel out a projector and they think that they can show whatever they want. But that's not how it works. Like they have this ridiculous notion of how court systems work, and they are wrong. They're absolutely wrong. Now, again, because they think Jeremy Hales is on trial too. Like that's part of it as well. He's not on trial. There is a protective order in place, and there are allegations that these people have been brought in and there have been violations, third-party violations. So they think that he's on trial. See, that's what they don't get with that. They need to look at a protective order and how it situates. Because, yes, you get to stand up, you get to talk about stuff, but I'm telling you, man, the stuff that's there, especially linking all these people together, linking statements like, hey, these are my PR folks. They said that they were PR for the longest time. That's going to be a problem. Then, raising all of that money for LP on the back of Jeremy Hale's reputation or the destruction of it, that's potentially, again, we'll see how it plays, but that's potentially massive. It's crazy. Bonnie, well, there he goes. Bonnie, for a minute there, I couldn't get it to link you. Hey, Bonnie, thanks for the fun. How did they get a Zoom link if Volman only talked about it? That's right, too. How exactly did they know to appear if they read about it? This is funny, right? It's because, like I said, I almost guarantee you that it went with the chain of Sean as attorney of record, got it, gave it to LP, and LP either gave it to Bruce, who gave it to Volman, or LP gave it to Volman. For some reason, I think that there's probably the 4 people in the chain. I figured that's how it went. Because with Bruce, I'm sure she refers to him for legal advice still, which blows my mind. She has the idea that, I can't afford anyone else. Therefore, this guy, she also probably, she talks about these people as her friends. And that's another thing. She talks about like Lisa, Tori, all these folks. They were her friends. I'm sure she thinks that about Bruce too. It's wild, isn't it? But yeah, it's a good question. Travis, 25 months, sir. Thank you. Appreciate that. If I had done half this shit in court, my ass would be locked. Me too, brother. Me too. I think back again. Like I said, I had a protective order before, and with that, I can't imagine being the person that brought it and acting like that. They would lock me up and they'd throw away the key. It's just wild. There's no way I would even think about acting like I've heard in this stuff. But you're right. Hope you and the kids are doing great. Chat mods are doing great. Ellen, broken neck, man. Whew. That's so, man. Love to you, sir. Again, I very much appreciate you. I do. I've loved to hear, I'd love to see your tale, how it's played in a positive way. And again, healthy, positive energies to you, brother. I'm just Jen. Thank you for that super sticker, by the way. Thank you. I always get at least one in there, and I love it. I appreciate it. The girls, they can have one there. Doubting Tom, thanks for the 10. For your wonderful little stream partner, thank you. I'll tell her to. I'll be like, hey, you got some money, you know? And the next time I've got to go to Murfreesboro in probably a couple of weeks. So that's her favorite place in the world. You know, go out there, candy shop. And they have a bookstore down there. She's actually gotten to where she's, you know, we're working on reading and everything, and she's gotten to where she really likes that. Gamer Jackie, what's up, Gamer Jackie? Thanks for the 8 months. Did you guys have a good Halloween? Yes, it was good. Saw the photo on Facebook. I bet Bug made out like a candy bandit. Love y'all. Yes, she did great. By the way, the girls did, and it was good. We had more trick-or-treaters than I've ever had here. And on top of that, there were more people handing out candy. You know, because I saw people anytime that came up, they were saying, well, maybe it has to do with government and stuff. Maybe people, you know, are trying to get candy. But no, I saw more people giving out candy. And that is such a positive. It is. The only downside, anytime I mentioned this the other night, anytime I take the girls out, there's nobody here to give out candy. So I'll put out a bowl. I'll put out a note, you know, to take however many pieces. This year it was 2. I put it multiple times on the bowl, you know, so there's no excuse. There's a note, it faces up, and you can see it if you pick up the bowl too. So it faces up at you. You see it, you know, no excuse. If a kid can't read it, then that would be okay. But the kids aren't the problem. Adults, man, it's not teens either. I'm talking about, I had adults come by and it happened 2 times. Adults emptied out the thing. I ended up filling it up, you know, multiple times, but luckily the first time adults emptied it, not kids, adults. They grabbed it, took it for themselves, but we were almost home. So, you know, we didn't miss any kids. I got it filled back, but I had to do that. We had another one empty, you know, for the on the handing out, but after filling up again, we had adults do it again. It was gross. I mean, they just take everything. And one set of them did it with kids coming. They emptied the bowl out, dumped it in a bag, and left nothing for the kids behind them. I saw it on my camera because I always look just to see what's going on. You know, we were watching movies, but I saw the thing, and I saw the kids come up, and the bowl was empty. And these people did it right in front of them. The kids saw it, and the kids looked disappointed. So I chased them down. You know, I got up real fast. I was like, hey, kids, come back here. Come back. So they did, and I gave them a bunch of candy. You know, I didn't just give them 2 pieces. I gave them a bunch. I gave them a big old fat handful of candy because, you know, these adults. But that's terrible, man. But, yeah, we had a great time, though. It was fun. It was a great time. Jack's mom, thank you for the gifted membership. Thank you, Jack's mom, and love to you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, your support. Thank you. Janice, thanks for the 10. Lynette doesn't understand that she can't use her discovery during the trial because she gave it to a Sheriff Jap and not a Randy Shuckett. Well, she doesn't understand. Yeah, I say let it find out the hard way. Well, I want to see, like, I don't want her having the excuse that there is some type of discovery. I love it too. So they've been saying, you know, that they have been talking to Levy County, and she said she turned over this so-called expert report to Levy County, and that's part of what they're utilizing, right? Well, that guy's a charlatan and a fraud, man. That guy has been called out by multiple courts. So for them to base anything on what was said there, God, like I said, I hope they're dumb enough to move, because they will make Hales a rich man. They will. Like, just ridiculously. If they end up stepping in like LP thinks they will. If they did that, God, it would be such a shit show. Emmy, thanks for the 10 there. It would be smart for the Ohio lawyer, in quotations, to remove his name from the docket so in the future, any other proceedings don't go to him, since LP and JC are pro se, to prevent conflict. Yeah, it's not a, you know, he has been removed, I'm sure, but what happens is, you know, since there was a violation, they try to get in contact with her, but yeah, they ended up mailing him, and, you know, he did the right thing on it. But yeah, I mean, they're noted as pro se because they asked for representation. Absolutely do. Oh, like I said, I really hope they keep that fight. It'd be so funny. Oh God, I really hope Bruce, because Bruce thinks that this silence from people like Sean, you know, it's the same thing with Randy. He thinks it's weakness and that he can exploit it. You see him do it all the time, and God, it'd be a wake up call. Chris thinks revived. Trading Post probably told her since she wasn't licensed or insured, she couldn't do permanent jewelry. The liability is too much if she injured someone. Yeah, when I was looking at stuff though, I think you can do permanent jewelry if, like, there's you know, there's certain settings in Florida. I was looking up all the rules on that. And I think you can do what she was doing there without licensure, but what they weren't making money. You know, that's the kicker. She wasn't making money. She was charging, I don't know if it was a good rate or not, but if I go to the flea, like for me, if I go to the flea market or something, right, I'm going and looking around, I'm yard selling and stuff, I'm looking for bargains. I'm not looking to pay like mall prices for something at a flea market, you know? I'm looking to pay like, unless it's amazing or something, I'm looking to pay like 20 bucks, 40 bucks. I'm not looking to pay like 70 bucks or over 100 bucks for something like jewelry, unless again, it's amazing. You know, I could potentially, like if I found something real, like some gold or something, maybe, you know, but even then, it's rare. I'd have to find something amazing, and I'd have to 100% know about its authenticity too. Death Angel, hey, thank you for the gifted membership too. I appreciate you. It's good to see you too. Hey, Kathy, thanks for the tip. So I told my kids I earned all this grade. Yes, that's what I tell my kids too. This is funny. I've been working on, so my daughter here, she had, we had been talking about she was losing her teeth, you know, her baby teeth. She lost one of her last baby teeth, the old one. And we were talking about like cavities for some reason. I don't remember what we got on that for. And she mentioned, she asked me, was there anything in folklore about a square cavity? And I was like, that's it. And of course there wasn't. So I was like, we should make up a story about it. So I've been writing her like a horror story, a short story about the idea of a square cavity. Let me see. We were goofing off the other night. I told her out of the for folklore, I said perhaps you could look at the mouth as like a home or house, and every tooth a door. And a square cavity is one that something left open. You know, maybe worms or something for something else. And if you fall asleep with it unfilled, you might dream of scraping, gentle at first, rhythmic, as if something's building stairs behind your gums. And when you wake, your tongue, you'll find the hole. It's gotten deeper. And, you know, we were playing around. And we've turned that into about 7 pages of goofing off, like horror stories. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. That was random, by the way. Death Angel, thanks for the 5 there. Turned 50 on the first. I gotta play you a song there. And Mom's doing okay with chemo, and that's a good thing. That can be a rough go too. It can be, and you know, man, that's okay, man. You know, if when you're goofing off with this stuff, I mean, just remember, it's just goofing off. It's time to unload and to take your mind off things and to laugh at stupid people. So, you got stuff going on though. That's okay. You always come back. You always appreciate it, you know, for sure. But love to you. Let me give you a birthday song.
Happy birthday.
It's
From
belated a little, but still.
of us to you.
Us to you.
Happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday. We love to have you here. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Here's to another year.
love to for sure. You know, and again, come over anytime, goof off. We always appreciate you. And Aussie Wombat dropped 5 giftos there. Thank you, Aussie, by the way. That is awesome of you. That is very well appreciated too, my friend. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to redirect you to old Wiznut. I may go over there, goof off for a minute. He was like, hey, you want to come on? So I'm going to go over there for a few minutes. I'm going to see what's going on first. Check on everybody. They may all be asleep. So anyway, I'm going to redirect there. Tell them Tug sent you and appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow.